protect your home. 5280 Exteriors installs fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance upgrades built to handle Colorado's extreme weather. Choose James Hardy Siding, Timber Tech decking, and Pella Impervia fiberglass windows. Plus, get 60 months no-interest financing. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And guys, I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question here soon. And if that's the case, which my guessing is, because I'm always right, it is the case, if you're listening to me, you need a diamond. And not just any diamond, a diamond from Williams Jewelers. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only will they share the secret to the business with you, but they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Sports Talk Radio at work. So is your competition. So are your customers. Denver sports fans don't half listen. They argue. They text in. They remember stats from 1998. They remember who sponsors their obsession. Audio, video, or online. We've got every angle covered. DenverSports.com. Make your move.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Tuesday, March 3rd, with our guy Phillip Lindsay back in the saddle. What up, Phil?
Woo! What's going on, man? I missed you.
I know.
How'd it go yesterday?
We missed you. It went great.
Good.
I hadn't worked with James Merrillat in at least a year, I think, over the course of a whole show, and it was great. I get along very well with James, and we do some sparring. And it took till about the third segment for us to start going at it, and so it was really fun. So we appreciate him, filling in.
Well, you have a black eye, so I can't imagine what James has. He must have two black eyes.
Yes. See the other guy. No, but it's good to have you back, man. And it's we have a jam-packed show, just an absolutely jam-packed show. You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Finally we got some moist in the air, right? We had some raindrops. Now it wasn't enough. But it was good to see the rain falling. So, hey, Weatherman Drew, at some point, are we going to get more rain today? I just want to know.
Did we have rain here?
We did.
Is that right?
Yes,
I didn't see any rain at my house.
Man, it was for a quick second.
Okay.
It had to be for like 10, 15 minutes maybe, because it was definitely at my house.
Yeah, I think we got actually more rain today than we have in the last, month and a half combined.
Well, I mean, if you had half of an inch, I think that would check that box.
And it basically did. Yeah, I think it was 0.7 inches or something like that.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, but something.
Yeah, take what you can get. I mean, holy smokes. Luckily, and I know there's been some fires, but truly the risk when it's this dry and then it's that windy like a week ago is, things can go sideways quick. So we got a lot to get to today. Yesterday, we did not discuss the little rumor that came out from the NFL Combine from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. All right, Fowler has been at it for a couple decades, really good at his job there for the four-letter network out of Bristol. And he said that Broncos left guard Ben Powers is a potential trade piece this offseason. And here's what he actually wrote. He said, 2 offensive linemen to potentially be included in trades are Green Bay's Elgton Jenkins and Denver's Ben Powers. Both have large cap hits and potential value, end quote. This is the time of year where stuff can just be thrown out there.
Yeah.
You're not sure what's true and what's not. But it feels like because there could be some savings, he was banged up this past year, missed a bunch of time. I believe going into the final year of his contract.
Yes, yep.
This could be a real rumor out there from Jeremy Fowler.
No doubt, Z. I mean, look, you go to the Combine. The agents start talking to all the coaches, all the general managers, even the owners. Things start to be, get spread all around the Combine land. And so, yes, if something's coming up about Ben Powers, my guess it is there's been talks about maybe moving Ben Powers if it makes sense. The thing I just said right there, does it make sense? Because when I'm looking at this team, the Denver Broncos, that is, with this offensive line, Z, you and I both know it's all about the trenches, offensively, defensively. But offensively, you finally have an O-line that has been together probably the longest in the NFL right now.
I agree with this, yeah.
Now, for Ben Powers, he started off strong. The 5 games that he started were really, really good. And actually, he was better in the pass game than the run game, and he was brought in to be a run type of lineman. But he has gotten better at pass blocking. Then he ended up with the bicep injury that put him on IR, and it's hard to come back. He had a surgery. And so now there's a bunch of talks because he's on his last year of his contract, and he didn't do as well as people think he should because he was hurt. With that being said, I just want everybody to understand and make sure everybody does understand that it's so hard to build chemistry on the offensive line. And so when you have a group that has been together for a very long time together and they have been thriving and been one of the top, I'm not going to say the best offensive line, but one of the top offensive lines in the league.
Yeah.
Do you really want to mess that up when you have a young quarterback that's getting better every single year, or you have a young quarterback that's starting to feel himself? My take on it is leave Ben Powers where he's at. Palczewski, let him brew. You'll put a tender or give him a contract. Let him brew up under Ben Powers for another year. And if it doesn't work out for Ben Powers throughout the season, then you could try to trade him, or after the season's done, you're done with him. He's a free agent. But keep this band together for one more year to see what they look like with a better running back, a healthier running back to pair with R.J. Harvey, with Bo Nix going into year three now. Keep the band together, Z.
You don't sound crazy. I don't think that this is a move that has to happen. I know it doesn't have to happen. I would say it's probably more unlikely than likely right now. But I think there is a world where it makes some sense. You had brought in Alex Palczewski as an undrafted free agent. He has developed or brewed here, as you said, for a few years. He was asked to step up in Powers' place, and I thought played pretty well.
He did.
So if you can get some value in return for shipping Ben Powers out, I don't think your offensive line takes that much of a hit. And if you could get, I don't want to get carried away here. Obviously, you're not getting a first, second. I don't think you're getting a third.
No.
But if you could get a 4th round pick for Ben Powers for a needy team that needs a closer to a sure thing at left guard, and Ben Powers has a pretty high floor.
He does.
I think that if you could get a 4th round pick, man,
but do you
might have to think about it.
Well, but why when you're in a championship window?
Because
like
it looked
Palczewski, it looked
because
good.
It
but
looked
can
good.
He be consistent?
Honestly, if I'm just being real, like I didn't really notice like Ben Powers not being in there. Like if I was never told about the injury and I was just like left like purposefully ignorant, I never knew about the bicep injury, and you just put Powers on the back of Palczewski's jersey, I wouldn't be able to tell, Phil.
But I understand where you're going with that, but also understand that it's not just on the running back, and we didn't do well running the ball once J.K. went out the door, right? Once J.K. got hurt. Not all of that just is on J.K. Ben Powers is a hell of a run-blocking offensive lineman that was just in a rhythm, in a groove that was has that chemistry. Palczewski, when you look at Palczewski, he does a better job of pass blocking. Now, I did say that Ben Powers did a good job at the beginning pass blocking, but the reason why he was brought to the Denver Broncos is because Sean Payton wanted to get downhill. So all I'm saying is bring Ben Powers back, get another running back, all right, to go with Ben Powers in this offensive line, and let's see what it looks like for this year if they can all stay healthy. Palczewski did a hell of a job, Z, and I don't want to take anything from him. But we can't disrespect Ben Powers and say there wasn't a drop-off.
No, I'm not disrespecting him, obviously. I just think that I don't think there was a big drop-off. I don't. And if you could get an asset in return, and this is obviously not about like Ben Powers not doing a good job, you only have this conversation because he did do a good job. Mm-hmm. And you might be able to get a draft pick in return. And if he's not a part of your plans moving forward, like your big picture long-term plans, and my guess is that he's not because of how good Paucho played in his stead, I think you consider it. If it's a 4th round pick, give yourself 3 4th round picks, package them up, move into the 2nd round, pick 4 players in the 4th round. Like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, be creative.
You have like real flexibility. But I understand when you say, hey, keep this group together.
One more year at it. You really want to break this band up? They're smooth. They're gelling. They're sounding good. It's like one band, you lose the drummer, it doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, he's more of the backup bass, I would say. So, seriously, of any offensive lineman that you could move on from without, like, because you wouldn't do that with McGlinchey right now. You wouldn't. Paucho played good in his absence as well.
Exactly.
So I think this might end up being more about Alex Palczewski than about Ben Powers.
Keep Paucho as that utility guy.
If he's not in your plans moving forward, you have to consider it. And I look at Cincinnati today. You know, there's a reason that these bad franchises are just bad. Like, you had an opportunity, and this is not the same, okay? But this is just on my mind seeing it. You had an opportunity to trade Trey Hendrickson at the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati's season was not going anywhere. They refused to do it, and then today, they're not going to franchise tag him, and he walks away for nothing. It's just like,
bad business.
Okay, where was the wisdom? Where was the foresight? And I think, again, it's not the same conversation, but if he's not going to be a part of your plans moving forward, and you know you're not going to sign him to a multi-year contract beyond this year, and you have a competent enough backup that you've developed, and you can get a 4th round pick, I'm not dying on that hill, but I think you consider it. So, all right, if you want to react to that conversation, you can. RamosLaw.com, text line 303-713-1043. It's a Nuggets win, but it didn't exactly inspire confidence. We'll unpack the weird mix of relief and maybe embarrassment coming up next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here, and I have to tell you about one of my favorite places in the entire world to be. the Basketball Social House Bar and Grill in Centennial. They have award-winning food and drinks, guys. Trust me, try the brunch. It is out of this world. But what really sets it apart is that it's the first of its kind sports bar and entertainment experience. Literally the only one like it on planet Earth, and it's right here in Centennial. And don't get it twisted, this place isn't just for hoopers. Even if you never touch a basketball, it's an awesome spot to eat, drink, hang out, and catch the game. My wife never touches a basketball when we're there, but she loves going to the Basketball Social House with our family. But if you do want to play, you can book your own private basketball suite with a full court, a lounge seating, music, TVs, and more. It's perfect for parties, birthdays, or just an upgraded night out. It's also one of the best places in Colorado to watch big games with what might be the best happy hour in the state every single day from 7 p.m. to close. You can find them at 7450 South University Boulevard in Centennial, or check them out online at thebasketballsocialhouse.com. And because you heard it from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental when you use the code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, guys, this place is a slam dunk.
A careless driver caused your crash. Medical bills are piling up, and you might not be able to work. Life just got a lot more expensive, and you don't know what to do. At Berg Simpson, your consultation is absolutely free. We'll explain your legal options at no cost to you. Help starts with a phone call to us.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives. It's not just a slogan, it's who we are.
What's going on, fellas? Happy Tuesday to you. Guys, let's just be honest. If you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, ED, you know it's an intimacy destroyer. And research out there shows that men can draw away from their partners when ED affects their sex life. These conditions can cause stress, anxiety, depression, and even worse. A man's partner can blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. Guys, no partner should be blaming themselves. This is all on you. You need to go see my friends at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic ASAP because their treatments work when the pills and herbals fail you. And I'm here to tell you that they have treatments with success rates well over 90%. And some of the treatments that they have will have you last an hour or even more if you have that much stamina. What you're going to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Your initial visit is only $99, and this will include a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And here's the thing, gentlemen. If the test dose does not work in the office, the visit is free. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you as well, so there are no excuses. Go get treated. You can go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Common Spirit Health, we don't just see a cancer diagnosis. We see you, and you don't have to do this alone. We believe you should be surrounded by your people, so you can keep them close while you get care close to home. Supported by our care team from diagnosis to treatment and beyond, and strengthened by treatment tailored to you. Because there's no one-size-fits-all approach to cancer care. Find cancer care with human kindness close to you at mountain.commonspirit.org.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA. Online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth, and home show season in February is when homeowners make the smartest improvement decision before the demand hits. If windows are in your future, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton offers Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows built for strength, efficiency, and long-term value. And this February, you'll save 25% plus enjoy 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit windowsforyourhome.com or call them at 303-794-0490.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
It is a Denver Nuggets win. And make no mistake, and I may have to remind myself of this over the next 10 minutes or so, but the most important thing that needed to happen last night happened. The Denver Nuggets won, okay?
You sound like the dad coach right there. Hey, we won. We won. We're going to get ice cream.
But the context of how that puppy went down against a team that is quite literally, from an organizational standpoint, trying to lose as hard as they can in the Utah Jazz. So you have one team in Denver that's trying to win a championship, and then you have another organization in Utah that is trying to lose as many games as they can to create the best possible draft pick. And it took everything for the team that's trying to win the championship to beat the team that's trying to lose as many games as possible from an organizational standpoint.
And Z, let's face it. If it wasn't for old Jamal Murray being Superman last night, the Nuggets would have lost that game.
1,000%.
The Nuggets would have lost the game. And it starts with, let's just start with this. Defense is horrendous, man.
It's so bad.
They're just blowing by him. The other team is just blowing by them. There's no communication. There's no consistency when it comes to the side of the court, when it comes to the defensive side of the court. And that's something that we always talk about. That's all about effort. That's all about just getting on your guy when it's man-to-man. Win that one-on-one battle. Do not let somebody just blow past you for an easy layup or easy transition basket. Like, things have to start with defensively, and then, of course, you have to score points. But Jamal Murray did that on the offensive side of the court. But defense, man, that's a problem, Z.
It was so bad and so porous. It was turnstile defense. It was the worst defensive game of the year. The worst defense in the NBA is the Utah Jazz, okay? They give up 125 points a night, okay? Call it 126. The Jazz scored 128 when their best players are in street clothes rooting on guys that most of them would not crack a rotation for any playoff team.
The Jazz scored 125.
I'm sorry. So the Nuggets gave up what the worst defense in the NBA gives up every single night. It's just a different way to say it. Now, Keontae George, I couldn't be a bigger fan. I mean, I'm such a fan of that young man. His game is so fun. So fun. And a little note about him in a couple minutes. But, it was bad, man. It was the worst defensive performance of the year. I don't know how else to say it. It was the most uninspiring win, maybe of the Jokic era, that you needed Jamal Murray to go for 45 points to beat the worst team in the NBA.
Now, somebody might go out there and say, well, it's on a back-to-back. They just played against the Timberwolves. They had to play longer against the Thunder. They're tired. All right, what do you say to somebody that's saying all that? They're injured. You have AG and Payton Watson that's been out. Yes, Mr. Jones, Spencer Jones that wasn't able to play. You had Cam Johnson that's dealing with the ankle soreness.
It's the worst team in the NBA. They've won 18 games. They're going to end up with a top draft pick. Like, none of these excuses apply, because all you have to do, again, is just like, and you can talk about some of those components and stuff, but if you just watched the game, you saw how putrid it was. I mean, it was disgusting in the fourth quarter. Even like, okay, now it's time to like buckle down. It got worse. That's what it looked like. It got worse. They scored 32 points in the fourth quarter. The Jazz did. I mean, I don't know, guys. Again, I'm going to remind myself, they won the game. And were they playing down to their competition? Yes, of course. But, like, I'm getting close to being, like, at a loss with this team. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, I'm already numb. I'm numb because, to me, it's like you don't know what you're going to get from the Denver Nuggets every single night. They're so inconsistent. All right, there's games where you have Jamal that looks like he's superhuman, and then there's games where it's like, Jamal, where are you at still? Jokic, it seems like for Jokic, he can't get back into just rhythm. All right, it's something about Jokic is just off.
Big time. But by the way, just to add some flesh to that, he is shooting under 50% this month for the first time since November 2020. Years and years ago this month.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows even the body demeanor. And I'm not saying he was sitting there and he was upset, but it's like this game right here, it seemed like he was in La La Land at times where it's like, it is what it is.
Well, the most engaged he was when it was to the officials and how he was being officiated. And we talked about this last week, him fighting this two-front war. I mean, he is playing this game within the game. And you want to know what's so unfortunate, dude? Him foul baiting. No one from a Nuggets perspective can talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can't. Because, guys,
you know they're going to.
Well, here's the harsh reality. This is Jokic's reputation now. He has developed this reputation league-wide for being a flopper, and it's so unfortunate. Look, this guy's the best player in the world, okay? He doesn't need to be doing this. He doesn't need to be expanding his bandwidth to do this, and it's hard to watch, man. It's really hard to watch, and he was frustrated. Last night, the Jazz did what other teams have done, and they're fronting Jokic with a smaller player. And yes, they are beating him up. But this is the refs are allowing it, and they allow it against Oklahoma City when Alex Caruso fronts him. This is the Rui Hachimura adjustment where they front Jokic and they have the longer, roaming backside defender. This is not the first time, and it's certainly not going to be the last time, especially not when you show your cards of just how frustrated you get. And then it becomes this, like, again, I'll just go back to it, this two-front war where you're trying to win the game on the court and you're trying to win this game against the officials and how he's being officiated. And it's hard to watch because this is not what we've seen throughout his career. And in a very short period of time, because of how hard he has leaned into these battles this year, like, this is what he's being, like, they're
at the beginning,
they're chanting flopper.
I
know, but it hasn't been that way for months. They're chanting flopper at the OKC game. The Thunder fans are chanting flopper.
Yeah.
It's being talked about on all these nationalized, popularized podcasts. Like, it's a topic of conversation. It's just unfortunate.
Now, on a high note, I did like that David Adelman is experimenting with the second unit and putting Jamal Murray on the second unit, putting Jokic, staggering him at times just to see if they can get something going. I believe that it helped him win that game last night. Now, it's something you can't continue to do, but David Adelman's trying. David Allen's trying, but what would you say?
About that?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't like it. They're experimenting with it this year. They've done it for years. It just has not worked out. When Michael Malone was the coach, that was his thing, stagger Jamal Murray with the second unit. You'll get a one-off game here and there, but I personally don't like it. But he is experimenting. You see he went with the two big lineup, Jonas Valanciunas and Jokic, and I don't love that either. This team is just they're just off right now, dude.
They are.
They're just off. And Jokic is off, again, shooting under 50% for the first time in over a half decade, needing everything, a 45-point performance to beat the worst team in the league. I mean,
go back to what you said earlier. They won the game.
They won the game.
They won the game.
But if there was such thing as an embarrassing win, and I don't know if there is, but if that exists, that's what that was last night. So they turn around. They play the Lakers on Thursday. They're at home. I believe I'm going to be at that game. I expect a significantly better product than what we've seen here for the last three games. It's disappointing. So, all right, if you want to react to that, you can hit us up. And by the way, like, the Nuggets had a 50-40-90 game, a 50-40-90, where they shot 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and 90% from the line. and beat the worst team in the NBA by 3 points. That's how bad their defense is.
Defense. That has to improve fast.
All right. Someone in Denver sports is on the verge of doing something that has never been done, and it's happening right underneath our nose. We'll tell you what that is. Also, Mike Evans. Man, he might have stepped in it. And take out the might have. He stepped in it. That's next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040. I want to tell you about one of the cases I'm most proud of. And it's not because the number is eye-popping, although it is. It's because the clients trusted us to get them justice, and we delivered for them. Our clients were a wonderful couple, weren't looking to get rich. In fact, they kept saying, Dan, we're not looking to set any records here. But they were seriously injured, and despite promising to take care of them, when it came time to do the right thing, the insurance companies played hardball. We set it for trial and wound up getting $8.5 million. Plus, my lovely wife, Kimberly, was able to get all of their medical bills wiped out, putting hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in the clients' pockets. We were proud to help because our clients were good-hearted people who deserved justice. We hope you never need us, but if you do, we are here to help at 303 Law 4040, where you always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
You know what it takes to win: the preparation, the game plan, the refusal to quit when things get hard. You bring that same mentality to your business every single day. But even the best teams need fans in the seats. At Denver Sports, we put your business in front of Denver's most passionate, loyal audience, on air, online, and on the big screen. You've got the drive, we've got the reach. Visit us online at DenverSports.com. Let's build your roster.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
The Great American RV Show and Off-Grid Expo is back at the Colorado Convention Center, March 12th through the 14th. Explore 400-plus fresh 2026 RVs and off-grid rigs. Go to DenverSports.com to register for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets.
Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Guys, we've had the driest winter in decades. Protect your home with fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance upgrades built to handle Colorado's extreme weather. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Follow Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Offering a sizzling hot take.
He needed his coffee, Z. He didn't get the coffee in the morning.
Sizzling hot garbage. Holy smokes.
You're not lying.
One of the worst takes of the year here coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. First, Abbas Montoya. You could be heading to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world thanks to 303 Law 4040. Call us back within the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043 to be entered into our drawing for the Superfan Send-Off Grand Prize, a pair of 2 nights tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. Abbas Montoya. Call us now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't already signed up, there's still time. Head to denversports.com/superfan and make sure to listen weekdays every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to hear if your name is called. Okay, so let's talk about the thing that's happening right now in Denver sports that I don't think is getting enough run right now.
Let's talk about it.
Nathan McKinnon last night. So the Avs pick up a W last night. All right. That top line was absolutely dominant. Just freaking flying around. And within it, McKinnon scored his NHL leading 41st goal. Phil, he has 6 more goals than the next top goal scorer in the NHL, which is Connor McDavid, who, by the way, McKinnon has played in 3 less games than Connor McDavid. His 99 points rank second to McDavid. All right. McKinnon is currently riding a 4-game multi-point streak. And the thing that I think is happening that maybe hasn't got enough attention, and maybe it has, and I just haven't heard it. I don't listen to everything. But McKinnon is now minus money to win the NHL MVP, the Hart Trophy. Minus money, meaning that if you wanted to make $100, you now have to bet $140 to win 100. Everyone else in the field is plus money. The next MVP favorite is Nikita Kucherov, who is having a fantastic season, but he's plus 285, meaning that if you bet $125 on Nikita Kucherov to win the MVP and he went and won the Hart Trophy, you would get your $100 stake back plus $285, and it just goes up from there. Guys who are plus 300, plus 400, plus 500. This is significant, because no one in the history of this organization has ever won the Hart Trophy twice. Joe Sakic won it back in 2001 season.
Yep.
Peter Forsberg won it in the 02-03 season, and we know McKinnon just did it a couple years ago in the 23-24 season. If he wins a second Hart Trophy, which he is now minus money to do, he is quite literally in a category of his own in the history of hockey in Denver.
Z, if he wins this Hart Trophy, which I believe he is going to, not just because of what he's doing, obviously what he's doing, but it's the players around him. The Avs are the first team to 40, right? To win 40 games is the Colorado Avalanche. So they're winning, so you have that on your side. Nathan McKinnon is on another level now. He's getting his second win, but if he wins this Hart Trophy for a second straight time, then he may be the best hockey player in the NHL. And now there may be some people that are gonna, push back about that, but that's just me, man.
Well, I think most of us here in Denver think that he's the best player in the NHL. But if he wins a second Hart Trophy, you're talking about just in his own wing of legendary status in the history of Denver sports. There's really not a lot of multi-MVP winning players in the history of this town. Elway won one in 1987, I think. TD won one in the late 90s. Manning won one here in 2013, but no one in the history of the Broncos has ever won multi-MVPs. We know Jokic has 3 of them. He's in a category of his own. Larry Walker won an NL MVP, but never a second one. We just went over the Sakic and Forsberg.
So Nate Dogg, it would just be Nate Dogg and
Jokic. Literally.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, like, that's what type of history we're talking about. And I just don't think that enough fanfare has gone into this Hart Trophy conversation and what it would mean historically for Nathan MacKinnon and the history of Denver sports.
I mean, man, if he wins his second one, which, like, how could he not? He's just on a tear right now. All right, the best team right now is the Colorado Avalanche, and I don't see him slowing down. And his teammates going to make sure they push him. He's going to push himself. So yeah, it's his. It's his to lose at this point.
He's currently riding a 4-game multi-point streak, and you saw it again last night. I mean, the dude is just ridiculous. He is number 1 in the NHL in plus minus. When Nathan MacKinnon is on the ice this year, the Avs have outscored their opponents by 53 goals. And so, man, he's obviously, we know his like GOAT status here in Denver, but I just don't realize, or I don't know if people realize like the upper echelon all-time status if he captures another Hart Trophy. Less than 20 players in the history of hockey have multiple Hart Trophies, and MacKinnon could be on that very short list. You know who else is playing great right now? It's Gabe Landeskog.
Yes, he is. Indeed he is. Indeed he is.
A 3-point night last night. All right. He's got 5 points since the Olympic break. So that's 5 points in 4 games. All right. Really slow start to the season if you look at like the first 16 games of the year. But he has really caught back up to speed. And that's why it was a strange thing. It was a strange thing. Drew sent us this afternoon. It was a strange thing that Mike Evans, with a microphone that was turned on, said this morning.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. Okay,
keep going.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. The reason why I say, and I acknowledge Gabe's leadership, is because if you didn't think about the impact he makes as a leader, and you were just left with who he is right now as a hockey player, you would be forced to say Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year. Here's a guy who's one of the top 5 highest paid guys on your team. He's making $7 million a year. I don't want to hear about the fact that he's been, all the time he's missed, because Mark Schlereth, what do you always say about somebody who's out there playing?
If you're good enough to be on the ice, you're good enough to play at top level.
And produce.
Yeah.
And be expected to produce. Yeah. Okay, especially for what you're making. So for a guy who's making $7 million a year and has 8 goals and 19 assists this year for just 27 points, for what he's being paid, he has been an underachieving disappointment.
So, quote, Gabe Landeskog is a underachieving, massive disappointment, end quote. Okay. We don't often bring up stuff other people say and use it for our content, like, oh, did you hear what this? Well, that was so stupid. Did you hear what this guy? Oh, man, that was great. This is so far off base, and we will correct the narrative coming up next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Everything is getting more expensive. Gas, groceries, and especially rent, which can go up every single year. But as a homeowner, you have a secret weapon. While the world gets pricier, a fixed-rate mortgage stays exactly the same. That stability isn't just peace of mind, it's your family's financial foundation. American Financing understands home ownership creates wealth. Every monthly payment builds equity and stacks your net worth on autopilot. It's how the middle class actually wins the long game. Your home is a flexible asset. You can live in it, rent it out for passive income, or pass it down to your children. Renting gives you none of that. American Financing salary-based mortgage consultants can help you get pre-qualified with no upfront fees. Call American Financing today and get a pre-qualification letter in 24 hours or less. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net. Secure your rate, Build your wealth and get the cash you need. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040, the husband and wife law firm where you don't get passed around to a law clerk or some call center overseas. You always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Winter isn't over just yet. In Colorado, your furnace has one job: to keep you warm. If it's been a while since your last tune-up, you're rolling the dice. Stoke here. ROX Rocks Heating and Air is local and honest. Get your furnace tuned up before the cold settles back in for only $39. Call ROX Rocks Heating and Air today or schedule online. Keep your home warm, keep your family safe, but only with ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Thinking about upgrading your home's HVAC? Then Day and Night Mechanical Solutions of Denver can help and save you money. You may qualify for up to $20,000 in rebates through the Colorado HERE program and Excel Energy for energy-efficient heat pump systems. Day and Night Mechanical has the inside track on this program and will guide you through every step. Upgrade your HVAC and save big bucks. Visit dnmech.com. Act now while the offer lasts. Day and Night Mechanical Solutions. They fix it right, day and night.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Hanging out with you on a Tuesday, March 3rd. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. And we didn't have enough time to finish up our previous conversation because we were kind of eating with two different spoons, having the Nathan McKinnon Hart Trophy conversation, and there's still meat on the bone left over from the game last night in a victory over the Kings.
Well, Z, that's exactly what I thought we were going to do today. I thought we were going to discuss Nate Dogg, and then, of course, the game against the Kings. And then something miraculously just happened out of nowhere with our boy Mike Evans that we have to address and we have to talk about now.
Yes. And like I said going to the last break, I don't enjoy like the style of radio of using other people's content to drive the content in your show. But I think in this case, it's appropriate to react to it because Mike's comments have picked up steam on social media, and I believe they're just way off base. Okay, and the comments were made about the captain Gabe Landeskog, and Mike said this, and just in case you missed it, because our audience is coming and going, said this morning.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe, okay?
Keep going. No.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. The reason why I say and I acknowledge Gabe's leadership is because if you didn't think about the impact he makes as a leader and you were just left with who he is right now as a hockey player, you would be forced to say Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year.
Okay, so Landeskog, if you take the leadership out of it, you would be forced to say he is a massive, underachieving disappointment. First of all, really odd timing. And I don't know if Mike had stuff going on personally, didn't catch the game last night. But Gabe had a goal plus 2 assists.
3 points, baby.
He had a 3-point night. He's got 5 points in 4 games coming out of the Olympic break. Okay? He had a slow start to the season. He did. He had a really slow start to the season. And that's just the truth, okay? In the first 16 games, Landeskog had just 4 assists and no goals. But they didn't stop the season after 16 games. They kept playing. And Landeskog kept on getting better and better and better.
Picking up steam.
Landeskog has 23 points in the last 29 games. So I'm confused because I'm not saying that Mike doesn't know what he's looking at, right? He is like the self-professed hockey guy, right, from New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, for sure. He says it all the time.
I don't know how you can know what you're looking at and watch the games and have this take. Over a 29-game sample size, he's got 23 points in 29 games. That is a 65-point pace over a 29-game sample size. And just so we're clear, the number of 70-point games that Gabe Landeskog has had in his career is 1. Okay? So
You don't know what Mike is looking at or what he's talking about.
I just don't know how you can watch the games, especially after last night, have a goal and 2 assists, and then come in this morning and say he is a massive, underachieving disappointment when the Colorado Avalanche are the best team in the NHL, and when Gabe Landeskog does not play, they're under 500. I'm going to say it a little bit louder for the people in the back. They're the best team in the league, but when Landeskog doesn't play, they're under 500. His value to this team is incredible. He has played excellent hockey for a while now. And so, yeah, please don't confuse or associate Mike Evans' take this morning with our show.
No,
you can just start there.
For sure. I'm with you on that. Like, if you're going to point the finger, point it at what Mike is doing over there, because we've been watching every single hockey game. And yes, it was a slow start for Gabe. But you know what? Gabe was coming off a significant knee injury that we didn't even think he was going to come back from. Plays in the playoffs last year, does a hell of a job. It's going to take some time for him to get back going. So if Mike was going to have this spicy hot take, maybe he should have done it at the beginning of the year when Landy was struggling.
Yeah,
or
not
when
now.
He had a slow start. Not now.
Not after a 3-point night.
So I am really confused because the Avs are better with Landeskog on the ice. Landeskog is doing his part. What more do you want this man to do? All right, you have the firepower. You have Nathan McKinnon. You have Marty Netches. You got Kell. All right, and still, Landy is still doing his part. Now, is it as loud as somebody might want it to be? No, but it doesn't have to be. He's the captain. All right, he's getting those dirty goals. He's sitting in front of the goal, right in the middle of the goal, doing his part with that, and he's a role player. That's what I look at when I'm looking at Landeskog is he's a role player, and he's starring in his role, doing it at the best of his ability, and moving on from there. All right, I don't know where this thing of Landeskog being a disappointment is coming out of Mike's mouth. I don't know why he's saying that, why he wants to go down that road, but that's not us, man.
Yeah, he's playing great. And I just ultimately go to the best team in hockey is under 500 when the dude doesn't play.
Simple.
He is massively important. Off the ice with the leadership stuff, of course. Yeah, we all agree on that, no doubt. But he has been an additive, unquestionably, on the ice as well. And they have the best line in hockey. You watch them last night. I mean, again, like you look at that top line last night. They were so dominant. It looked like varsity against JV when the top line was out there. And Landeskog is on that line. All right. You look at how much they outshot attempted the Kings last night when it was 5-on-5. This is just insane. The Avs outshot attempted the Kings 74-41. So, and Mike, our guy in the morning, he is being dragged on social media, and that's part of the it's the other side of the coin, because like you do this job, right, and then some of the clips get pulled and reproduced for social media.
Yeah.
So he has come under fire, and rightfully so. I 23 points in 29 games speaks for itself. Now, and two, I want to address this too, because he brought up the money and it's measuring his production to what he's making.
Yeah.
And you could say right now, I'm sure, formulate an argument that Landeskog is overpaid, but you have to remember, Landeskog got that deal before he ever had the career potentially ending injury as well. So yes, if you want to go down that road, like I suppose you can, but the dynamics have dramatically shifted since that contract was signed, and I feel like that deserves to be a part of the story as well.
Lenny is doing a great job. This is going to be his first year finishing a whole full season, knock on wood, if he can do it.
Yeah.
All right, significant knee injury to start. He has a chance to finish a full season. The last time we won a cup, Landeskog was a part of it. So there's that. And what Mike has going on over there, that's between Mike.
All right. Wait, hold on. Was Mike featured in the Landeskog?
The documentary?
Am I making that up?
No, I think he was. I think his voice was in that documentary.
I thought it
talking
was
about maybe Gabe never playing again or something to
like
that effect. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Okay. All right. I don't know if there's something more there. I really don't know, but okay, that's how we feel about that conversation here. So, Phil, we are just a couple days away from NFL free agency. Things are happening left and right around the league. And we talked yesterday, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, the David Montgomery trade to the Houston Texans for a 4th and a 7th round pick. Whoa. You have the Jets officially tagging Breece Hall in an official capacity. They said they would in the past. You have a transition tag being slapped on Daniel Jones. So this is going down, and we are now 6 days away, and dominoes are falling left and right of the Denver Broncos here.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting what they're doing to the running back position. Obviously, for Breece Hall, he's not too happy. I wouldn't be too if you have a team that you don't want to be a part of franchise tagging you. So let's see where that goes. You got Montgomery out of Detroit. Now, that's something that he's kind of wanted. Now, he may have not said it, and he said that he wanted to be a Detroit Lion. But once Gibbs started to be the guy that they were going to go to 80% of the time, Montgomery was like, all right, now there's no need for me. Let's move on.
Yeah.
He ends up getting a trade. I would have loved to have Montgomery over here with us. All right, that bell cow running back, hard to get down, very good in the pass game, can block as well. I mean, he would have been a great addition to pair with R.J. Harvey. But would I be willing to give up a 4th and a 7th when maybe you can get a guy on the market that you just pay some money for and you can keep your draft picks? I'm going to keep that. If I'm going to go with anybody, I'm going to go get a veteran that's already on the quote-unquote streets, and I'm going to go to the draft and get another running back that I can get later on because, man, those running backs were humming during the NFL Combine a couple days ago, Z.
They were.
So Montgomery, good for him to go to Houston Texans. Joe Mixon, what's going on with that man? That's something that you have to think about. Obviously, something is not right with Joe Mixon, and we'll see what happens with him. But they're going to have to release him if you're going to keep. There's a couple of running backs they already have on that roster.
Yeah, I was. The more I thought about that David Montgomery trade yesterday, I was disappointed that the Broncos weren't more in on that, because that is for who he is and the contract that he's under.
Yeah.
Man, it's he was so affordable. A 4th and a 7th round pick. And he's got a really high floor. Would be an obvious upgrade to the running back position here in Denver. I'm disappointed that it wasn't the Broncos name that was associated with that. So now it's like, okay, you weren't associated with it, and maybe they were in on conversations.
Well, maybe.
Again, I remember George Payton when he got the job saying we're going to be in on every deal, right? And so maybe there were conversations, and a 4th and a 7th were just too much. Now I would have done it. You have an additional 4th this year after the moving Vele, right? So that was disappointing. So then it's like, okay, could they just be planning something bigger, better at the running back position through free agency? And what does that look like? And today we get the news that Kenneth Walker will not be franchise tagged by the Seattle Seahawks. He is going to become the 4th player ever to win Super Bowl MVP and not be on the team next season, joining only Larry Brown, Desmond Howard, and Dexter Jackson. And I do wonder if I know his stock is high, and you're going to have to pay a tax after winning basically Super Bowl MVP is how I look at it. Like you just pay a tax on it. Man, I wonder if the Broncos could be involved in this.
See, I would love to be a fly on the wall, seeing their board, right? The free agency board saying, okay, these are the top running backs that we're going after. All right, X, Y, Z, number 1, 2, 3, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. That's usually what they do. Now, tier 1, yes, Kenneth Walker would be a great addition, and I was banging the table during the game like, hey, come on, Broncos. If he ends up being a free agent, which I didn't think was going to be possible, I thought that the Seattle Seahawks were going to franchise tag him, try to get something for him if they couldn't get a deal done, but that's not the case. If the Denver Broncos have a chance, they have to hit on this one with Kenneth Walker. Travis Etienne is another one that I would love to have. Those are tier 1 running backs that come in right off the bat, and they're your starters. They're the ones that are going to be explosive. They're the ones that are going to be able to carry the load, and you don't necessarily have to have R.J. Harvey go 1A, 1B with him. R.J. Harvey could be a great addition, a role player coming out of the backfield, but you can count on those two type of running backs. So I'm hoping that the Denver Broncos have a plan to pick up Kenneth Walker III or Travis Etienne. But if that's not the case, I mean, you like Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, I do.
Tyler Algier is another one. And then another one that we kind of don't talk about a lot, but it's J.K. Dobbins. I wonder if they have a plan to bring J.K. Dobbins back and say, hey, look, we're not going to go for this top-tier running back where we have to pay a bunch of money for, but let's go to Zach Bye route. Let's pay J.K. Dobbins a little bit more than vet minimum if he'll take that. Go out there and still get someone like Rico Dowdle or go into the draft and get a running back that we love.
This is my hope here.
And, hey, that's what we do. We can get J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, and still come up with a solid third-string running back or just a third running back that we can interchange throughout the season, and maybe that's the route they're deciding to go.
Well, my preference would be, and I know I already bounced this off you, but R.J. Harvey he's
here.
That's not going to change. My hope is they bring back Dobbins and then do one of two things. If you bring back Dobbins, you need to take a running back in the first 3 rounds again for a second straight year. And if you don't do that, go the free agency route. And I think it would almost be my preference going the free agency route with Dobbins. It's not going to cost you a ton of money, especially if you go the Rico Dowdle route.
Yes.
Because he kind of represents sort of this like middle ground in between paying someone like Dobbins and paying someone like Kenneth Walker. And so you do that. You have Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and R.J. Harvey. Sean Payton said, hey, Bill Parcells taught me years ago at the running back position, stack them. I actually want to see this done with a more serious approach. And I know we've talked about it, but this is an issue now for 3 straight off seasons. Enough is enough. You are in a Super Bowl window. Don't get cute. Don't be obsessive with your initial forecast for R.J. Harvey. Man, go about this be intentional.
Well, if it's going to be with a heavy hand, then you're going to go for Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker. You're going to go for one of those guys.
Sure.
Even Rico Dowdle. I love Rico Dowdle's game. and he's not going to be as much as those other tier 1 running backs. But it has to be addressed. It must be addressed because we cannot go through another season where you get halfway through, you're feeling good, somebody goes down, and now it's the Bo Nix show. Now the identity of the offense is yet again in Bo Nix' hands, right? That's nothing. You do not want to deal with that anymore. Bo Nix is there. Of course, we know what he can do. Let's take pressure off of him. Let's go for someone like Travis Etienne, which I would love. Kenneth Walker III, I will take him too. Rico Dowdle, you can have that too. Cherry on top. But something must be done.
Yeah, here's Ian Rappaport giving a report on the running back market from the Combine.
Almost never, it feels like, do we have this many good, productive, young running backs who are set to make some money. And the Javonte Williams deal really set it up to where it feels like $8 million plus is probably the market here. For instance, if David Montgomery gets a new deal, I would imagine he kind of comes in around there. You have teams like Denver Broncos, Seattle if they lose Ken Walker, perhaps the Kansas City Chiefs, perhaps the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have several teams that need a running back and want to go into the draft saying, we don't have a gaping hole. These guys are going to get paid in a way that we haven't seen in some time. And at the least, Mike, we're going to rebuild the running back market probably where it should be.
Very interesting. That big picture talking about rebuilding the running back market.
Hey, running backs matter. We matter again.
They're kind of back.
We're back.
Kind of back. That's very interesting. Obviously, you heard the Denver Broncos name be associated with a free agent running back. We don't have to wait long. 6 days away. 6 days away from finding out this news. And I'm fired up, and I believe that they're going to do something in 6 days. We're going to be on the air, and the news is going to come in hour number 1 about a Broncos free agent running back.
The work is being put in right now as we speak. They're talking to these running backs. I don't know who it is exactly, but they're talking to some running back about, hey, do you want to be a Denver Bronco? We're willing to write you this check. And both, a lot of these running backs, they want stability. They want the 2 to 3 year deal. So you have to look at what makes sense. What running back can stick around for at least 2 years? 3 at the most, but 2 years can be productive, that can pair up with R.J. Harvey. Rico Dowdle seems like the guy that may end up being a Denver Bronco. But Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker.
One of those upper echelon, like tier 1 free agents. And there's really the 3 of them now that Breece Hall is off the board.
You can always trade for Breece Hall if that's what you want to do. Now, I don't see the Denver Broncos doing that. They're going to have to pay a hefty price to trade away an asset and then pay Breece Hall.
I was going to say,
Come on.
it would have to come with a new deal. If you're trading for Breece Hall, it would have to come with a new deal. And that is like so Jets too. They're going to pay their running back without a deal. They're going to pay him $14 million.
See,
that is.
I think with the Jets, honestly, Z, I like what the Jets are doing because I don't believe that they want Breece Hall. I believe that they don't want to just give him away for free. I think they want to see if they can get something done and trade him away during the draft and try to get some more assets. But just to let this man walk and have it his way, you know how organizations can be. They don't want you to be happy sometimes. They don't want you to smell the roses. They want to make it hard for you to get to another team. And obviously, maybe they have something with him where they do like him, and he's just going to have to suck it up for another year and take the franchise tag.
Well, he doesn't want to be there.
No, he does not.
He has made that clear. And so you should consider trading for Breece Hall still. You should. And if you're considering moving on from someone like Ben Powers, according to Jeremy Fowler, you look at the deal that was done yesterday between the Lions and Detroit. A player was along with it, an offensive lineman, former second-round pick. And again, I'm sort of playing a little fantasy football here, but maybe you do pick up the phone, call New York, offer someone like Ben Powers plus a 4th-round pick for Breece Hall. Maybe it's a 3rd-round pick.
See, what has gotten into you, man? You love your draft picks.
I do.
And all of a sudden, you just give them away like candy. You get a 4th.
You
get a 4th.
For 3 straight years now, we're talking about upgrading the running back room. But not one time did they truly address it with great intention. Dobbins was on the street. Mm-hmm. You took him in. Okay, that was in the month of June, right? That doesn't count. It was like close to vet minimum. You could have drafted a running back in the 1st round.
Should have drafted.
You chose not to, right? Then you moved back in the 2nd round and drafted R.J. Harvey, and that is intentional, drafting a running back in the 2nd round. But when you get the information back in the following subsequent season, and you know in your heart of hearts that he doesn't check a 1A starting running back box, you have got to pivot. And so my biggest fear in all of this is they actually believe what they've said about Harvey. And I feel like I have to say this every time. This is not personal. We're talking about performance here. And he is just not what they thought he was going to be.
He's not a bell cow running back.
He's not.
He is going to do a great job with the amount of reps that he's getting or given. And you go from there. He's a great addition. He's going to be a spark plug out of the backfield. He's going to score his touchdowns,
Yes.
but you need a bell cow back that you can rely on, like J.K. was at the beginning of the season. And I had the take maybe a month ago. It's Tuesday today, so it's hot take for me, a hot take Tuesday. And my hot take is if we can get a running back to go for 1,000 yards this year, which you're playing in 17 games, the Denver Broncos will go to a Super Bowl. I'm not saying they'll win it, but they will go because they will be more balanced. In Davis Webb as offensive coordinator, he's going to be more balanced with the run, with the pass. You take pressure off of your young quarterback and Bo Nix, and maybe even Bo stays healthier with a run game, huh? Let's go with that. How about that?
Totally. Yeah. Here was Greg Penner at the season-ending press conference. Well, initially he was asked about aligning George Payton and Sean Payton's contract, but the second portion of the question was how aggressive they will be this offseason. This is what Greg Penner said.
Well, first of all, I'd say the two of them have, we'd love to have both of them here long term. I think the partnership they've created and how they work together, it's very complementary. In terms of their contracts, those are things that we'll always deal with on a personal basis and private, and take that as it comes. In terms of free agency, I always look at it as, I get a little worried about just the pure phrase of aggressive, because you can be aggressive, but you want to do it in a smart way. So again, we'll be willing to spend if we see something that we see a player that we think is going to add a lot of value here. We'll definitely take an aggressive approach, but we're also not just going to. We're not going to bring in somebody that's not right for this locker room, and so there'll be a lot of factors that we consider. But I'd say we'll be opportunistically aggressive.
All right, that was the words from Greg Penner, Broncos owner, just about a month ago. We'll see how that actually manifests itself here in 6 days when free agency starts. But I'll tell you this, man: if we don't hear anything, like 6 days from now when we're on the air, dude, I'm going to be supremely disappointed. Supremely. Because you need as close to a sure thing as possible heading into what you believe is a Super Bowl or bust season.
Yeah.
You have to address it in 6 days.
I agree with you, but it takes two to tangle. What are they willing to give up? That's the Greg Penner, that's George Sean, but also the running backs. What do they want? Does the vision fit them, right? Both of them have to be on the same page, but there's something that has to be done. And there's enough running backs out there where somebody wants to decide, hey, let's sign as a Denver Bronco because it's the best fit. All right, great organization. You have a really good young quarterback, an offensive line that's intact, a defense that's dominant. Why would you not want to be a Denver Bronco?
I agree. We'll see if it actually unfolds that way. It is a Hot Take Tuesday. I got a hot take for you that I'll share with you in the 3 count that is sizzling, like sizzling at 400 degrees. Okay?
Like Mike Evans?
like Mike Evans' take? Yes.
Uh-oh.
Landeskog, we hate that guy.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe, okay?
Keep going. No.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. The reason why I say, and I acknowledge Gabe's leadership, is because if you didn't think about the impact he makes as a leader and you were just left with who he is right now as a hockey player, you would be forced to say Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year.
Oh, that is. We got to get that on the iPad. Just that one tight sequence. Gabe Landeskog, a massive underachieving disappointment after a 3-point night.
Bad timing, Mike.
And 23 points in 29 games, a 65-point pace. All right. Dion and the Buffs did something that had to feel almost impossible yesterday. That's next.
calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You know, Shayna, when our grandparents opened Williams Jewelers in 1947, they had one guiding philosophy.
It's true. From a simple jewelry repair to that very important diamond engagement ring, we treat every customer like family.
Because you're sharing your life with us. That's the only way we know how to do business. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Shayna Williams. We're generational jewelers, creating heirlooms for the next generation.
Whether you're looking for that perfect diamond engagement ring, fine Swiss watch, or a custom piece, or that once-in-a-lifetime treasure,
we're here to make all your precious moments unforgettable. 3 generations of fine jewelry expertise right here in Colorado.
If you can dream it, it's here at Williams Jewelers of Inglewood.
Because we're not only one of America's largest fine jewelers,
we're Colorado's premier jeweler.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. We've got classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
I lost 60 pounds a few years ago with sodaweightloss.com, and it's never
coming back. I am never gaining that weight back because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat with SodaWeightLoss.com. You can join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up at 1-866-800-SODA. That's 1-866-800-SODA. Or go online to SodaWeightLoss.com. And I lost those 60 pounds, and I'm never going back because of the personalized touch that SodaWeightLoss.com gives you with a personal nutritionist that's always available via text when you have questions, you have concerns. Sometimes you just need encouragement on your weight loss journey. Have a friend there. Have your personal nutritionist there for you. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. It's changed my life. I look and feel 10 years younger, and I love it. You'll love it too. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com. Again, call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. Join Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. At SodaWeightLoss.com. SOTA is, say it with me, state of the art.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair. Want
to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it. All righty. Man, oh man, oh man. Dion and the CU Buffs did something yesterday that had to feel almost impossible. Phil, Buffs had spring practice yesterday, their first spring practice, the day after learning that their backup quarterback had passed away tragically.
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Don Ponder in a automobile accident.
Yeah.
And I just cannot imagine what it would be like to be a teammate of someone who just died tragically and unexpectedly and in violent fashion, and then to turn around and be on a football field. I can't comprehend what that must have been like for those players yesterday.
I'm going to probably keep his name out of it a little bit, but there was a guy that when I was on the Seattle Sea Dragons, you probably already know this, it's been out there, but he used to play in the NFL, and he was on the same team as me with the Seattle Sea Dragons, and we're getting ready for a game, and he wasn't feeling good. And so the coach told him to stay back. So we're in hotels at the time. So we go and we play against the DC Commanders, or I think that's their names, and when we come back, he died. He died in his room, in the hotel room. I want to say something happened where he seized out or something, hit his head in the hotel room. And, yeah, man, and that was really, really heavy because I remember talking to him right before I left for the bus because I was like, hey, are you not coming? And he's like, I don't feel good. I don't feel too well right now, man. So he decides to stay back or whatever. And, yeah, when we come back, he passed away. And that was really, really heavy just to go through that practice the next day, to talk about it. And honestly, that might have been the first time that I've actually opened up and just was crying and bawling my eyes out, man. And it was like a guy that I would talk to because we could relate to each other because of being in the NFL, and he was in the NFL for 5, 6, 7 years, I want to say.
Okay.
And yeah, man, we used to go down, do some treatment. I used to talk to him all the time, and now he's not there anymore. And he has 2 kids that he left behind. And it was just sad, man. Very, very sad. So I can't imagine what those young men up in Boulder are feeling, thinking right now.
Yeah, and here was Brennan Marion talking about it, the new offensive coordinator who came over from UNLV, talking about the first practice of the spring the day after backup quarterback Don Ponder passed away.
Yeah, we coached differently today. I mean, we didn't coach with the same, urgency as far as screaming at guys and losing our mind. And, we coached with a, like you would coach your child today. We coached a little bit more, pull back from the standpoint, let's get through the reps, but let's do it quality. Let's run on and off the field, and let's get our guys out there and just get them, let them have a little bit of fun to be out there on the field. So today, the film won't be, it's definitely not the quality of work that we're capable of. But like I said, to go out there on a day when you found out, some kids didn't find out until the meeting last night, right? Till 5:00. So you think about that. You got to get back up at 5:30 in the morning. That's 12 hours, right? Like, for them to go out there was amazing today.
Man, oh man. Goodness gracious. I cannot imagine, again, said it yesterday, but thoughts and prayers to the entire Ponder family. I cannot imagine. Next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
All right, Phil, it turns out that the Broncos aren't the only sports team that Robson Walton has an interest in. So we learned from Sportico that Walton actually purchased 10% stake in the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is Dante's team.
All right.
2 years ago. But had never been public, okay? And it was reported that he bought the stake at a $2 billion valuation, meaning that he spent $200 million. Just interesting that he is in the business of multiple sports teams. Does this bother you in any way?
No. He's just growing his game, understanding that, this is the way to go. When you have that much money, you have to find a way to hide that money. And now, why not do it in some sports teams? So I'm not too concerned with it. I think that if I was a businessman, I would do the exact same thing.
Sure.
What can I do to help this grow? What can I do with this type of money, which is insane to even think that much money a man can have.
Crazy. Dante, any thought on this? This is your baseball team. I don't, you don't have to share a thought, but I'm curious if you have one.
It makes sense why the Diamondbacks all of a sudden started spending a decent amount of money the last 3 or 4 years here. I think that was probably a part of it. So if he wants to buy the rest of the other 90% of the franchise, I would be all on board for that.
Yeah, okay. So right now, Arizona sports, are they the worst run?
The Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
No, the Cardinals.
The Bidwells. Yeah, that's probably true.
And it's a huge gap. And then it's Suns and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, okay.
You concerned?
No, not at all. And by the way, Greg Penner is running this team, not Rob Walton. So this is good for him. Do whatever you want with your money. It's not on my radar from a Broncos perspective at all. Next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, the Indianapolis Colts have placed a transition tag on Daniel Jones. Jones is set to make $37.8 million, which is $6 million cheaper than the franchise tag. Jones can sign an offer sheet with another team, but the Colts would have the right to match. Will anyone try to sign Daniel Jones to an offer sheet, or is he's simply just going to be a Colt?
Yeah, he's going to be a Colt. For Daniel Jones, he did a great job with the Indianapolis Colts. The reason why the Colts decide to do this is they know nobody else is going for this. They're going to have to give up some draft capital and then pay Daniel Jones. That's not happening. He is going to be an Indianapolis coach, and that means that Anthony Richardson, my guessing is out. So
definitely.
Maybe you're going to get your dream scenario where you have Anthony Richardson, Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham.
And for those who didn't catch it, and this was maybe a week or two ago, I forget. My idea was if they cut Anthony Richardson, because no one's going to want to trade for Anthony Richardson and pay him what he is, because they picked him 4th overall.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get traded. So they're going to cut him. And so if you can bring him in and use him as the Taysom Hill role, Sean has already shown a propensity to think outside of the box. Your young quarterback, Bo Nix, has been banged up 2 years. 2 years of being banged up.
Yeah.
There was a cleanup in the ankle, fractures in his back after year number 1, and a season-ending injury in year number 2. Have Anthony Richardson be the guy that shoulders that athletic burden. He is a weapon. He is not a full-time quarterback. I think I know that.
You don't know. He's young.
He is young. He is, but from what I have to work with, he's not a starting quarterback in the league. So don't tell me what he can't do. What can he do? And I think that I advocated this 2 years ago with Justin Fields, who I don't think is a true starting quarterback in the NFL. But how can you be used? And I think the Broncos should be open to this. I know it's a little off the wall, but I'm drawing from substance here.
It's just funny. Like, how can we use you up? Huh?
Yes.
Come on, get out there.
Like, what is Anthony Richardson going to do?
Anthony Richardson, if he's smart, he's not coming here where he's going to be used up. He'll go somewhere else where they're like, hey, we're going to take care of you. We're going to be kind to you.
Football rehab.
And if it doesn't work out after that, then, yes, you have to use the quarterback to his strength.
All right, we'll see what that all looks like here in time. All right, shifting gears. We are less than 1 month from the start of the Major League Baseball season. What would define success for the Rockies after the worst season in the history of the team? And what was the first order of business for the new boss? You'll hear from him on that next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. Injury Insights, powered by Ramos Law. Taking a look at the latest sports injuries in Colorado and beyond. Here's Dr. Joseph Ramos with Zach By.
All right, Dr. Ramos, Lindsey Vonn just made it home here recently after a multi-fracture incident at the Olympics that we all know about. Talk to me about these, multiple surgeries and trying to fix and heal this leg.
Yeah, Zach, amazing, right? That she just made it home. And the reason behind that is this. When I heard a multi-phased or stepped surgery, what that suggests is that they put an external fixator on Lindsey. And what that is essentially when there are so many fractures in so many pieces, you just can't go in and put a rod on or put a plate in. You literally have to put a tube over the leg. It's like a metal tube, looks like a slinky. And they run straws, basically, which are metal rods through each aspect of the leg to pin each part to kind of hold it in position. It means it's a very serious fracture.
And this compartmental surgery that almost cost her leg? I mean, tell me about this.
Yeah, compartment syndrome is what you're talking about, Zach. And these big, huge injuries like this, high trauma injuries, what happens is the muscles are surrounded by fascia. It's like a tube. And inside that tube are the vessels and the nerves. And when there's major trauma, you get swelling inside the tube, inside the fascia. What ends up happening is that the swelling can get so big that it's constrained in. When it's constrained in like that, it can cut off all the circulation of the blood vessels, all the circulation of the nerves, and it can do it within hours. And if you don't get that compartment opened up, you can lose your limb. Opening it up is almost like slicing into it like a sausage that you see on your grill that splits open. Very aggressive surgery. Sounds like that's what she had.
Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Dunright. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
Still babysitting your cleaning crew? Missed trash, dusty desks, complaints from staff? Pike Janitorial has served Denver businesses since 1994 with professionally supervised commercial cleaning that gets done right the first time. Offices, warehouses, medical facilities, they show up, handle it, and you don't have to think about it. No excuses, no callbacks. And they'll beat your current cleaner's price by 10%. Guaranteed. Call 303-306-0290. Pike Janitorial. Clean you can count on.
Colorado families, planning your next getaway just got easier. Explore real RVs, compare bunks, kitchens, storage, and layouts all in one place. The Great American RV Show, March 12th through the 14th at the Colorado Convention Center. Tickets just $12 online at greatamericanrv.show. Family adventures start here.
At Common Spirit Health, we don't just see a cancer diagnosis. We see you, and you don't have to do this alone. We believe you should be surrounded by your people, so you can keep them close while you get care close to home. Supported by our care team from diagnosis to treatment and beyond, and strengthened by treatment tailored to you. Because there's no one-size-fits-all approach to cancer care. Find cancer care with human kindness close to you at mountain.commonspirit.org.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Brenda Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 104.3 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
We are less than 1 month from the start of the Major League Baseball season. What would define success for the Rockies after the worst season in the history of the team? And what was the first order of business for the new boss, Paul DePodesta? We'll play some audio from spring training here in just a couple minutes. But first, Brandon Sutter. You could be heading to Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world thanks to 303 Law 4040. Call us back within the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043 to be entered into our drawing for the Superfan Send-Off Grand Prize. A pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. Brandon Sutter. Call us now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't already signed up, there's still time. Head to DenverSports.com/superfan and make sure to listen weekdays every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to hear if your name is called. All right, so we are less than a month from opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
All right.
We are just, I think it's we are exactly 1 month from the Rockies home opener at Coors Field. All right. And the organization did something so dramatic. I had asked for years for this organization to go outside their insulated self.
Change it up a little bit.
All they've ever done was promote from within, literally the entire history of the team. And for the first time ever, Dick Monfort taking a step back, all right, having his son basically run the team.
Yep.
And one of the first orders of business was bringing in Paul DePodesta. All right. And this guy was out of baseball for a decade. He was running the Cleveland Browns. We know that. And he spoke with Major League Baseball Network, all right, MLB Network, from spring training. And, well, the first question was, why Warren Schaefer went from being the interim skipper to being the full-time skipper. And this is, where is it? Oh, here it is. Why Schaefer was the right pick for full-time manager.
You know, one of the first orders of business when I came on was to hire a manager, but we had an interim one in place, in Warren, and I dug as much as I could around the organization, people who were still with the organization, also people who had been there previously, and everyone raved about him. So I thought, okay, this is a real candidate. And then as I got to spend more and more hours with him in the first couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks on the job, it just became obvious. He literally checked every box we were looking for. I mean, great passion, great relationships with the players, terrific work ethic, wanted to be a great partner, with us. So, for all those reasons, I just thought he was the obvious pick.
All right. I don't know if Warren Schaefer is going to be the right guy long term. But this is going to be a complete and utter rebuild. You need someone to manage the team.
Yes.
And I think that the time to judge Warren Schaefer is going to be down the road. And because right now, like the Rockies are the worst job in the sport. They're the worst job in the sport. So the chances of the Rockies getting like an upper echelon manager, like it's just not going to happen. And so someone's got to manage the team.
We got to build from the ground up.
I think this is honestly was half of it. The players like him. Everyone likes to be around him. We're going to go through a massive transition. Don't overthink it. Just let this guy run the team in the meantime. And you can, if he turns out to be great, great. But this is, I think this is going to be a big time adjustment over the next 2 to 3 years of transition.
I agree. I mean, I love that you decide to just keep it status quo. A guy that knows the players, can relate to the players, does have that passion. So he's going to be able to have the energy with these young players that you're looking to help develop. This is what it's all about, is building a foundation. That's what the Denver Nuggets have done in the past, build the foundation first. That's what the Denver Broncos just did. They built the foundation, and that's exactly what the Colorado Rockies are trying to do by having some of the talent that they already have in the building, the core talent there, and then with the drafting of some of these young players going through the spring league, like what do they look like? I'm not looking at this year as wins and losses. I'm looking at this year as, okay, these young players like Ethan Holiday, okay, these younger players, what can they do when they get their opportunity? Can they have some exciting plays? Can there be moments where we win the game we're not supposed to win? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And two, like, Bud Black, in my opinion, Bud Black was not the Rockies' problem. The Rockies' problems are systemic and deep and organizational. But if you are going to go through this massive transition, I don't think someone of Bud Black's, and I don't want this to come across as like ageism, but like Warren Schaefer, this is more about Warren Schaefer than Bud Black.
Yeah.
He is young. He has incredible passion. He has got fire in his belly. And I think that a player's coach right now is what this organization needs as they begin this massive transition. Here was more from Paul DePodesta on his first order of business. I really liked this response. Check this out.
I mean, one of the things we felt like we needed to do was just sort of raise the floor, and bring in some more veteran players that could help sort of establish that foundation to give our young players a sort of a better chance to succeed. This game's hard at this level, and to ask a bunch of young players to come in and play sort of meaningful roles like top of the rotation, middle of the order, I think it's awfully hard to do. So one of the biggest things we did was sign the 3 veteran starting pitchers in the offseason. That should help just sort of settle everything down a little bit. And we wanted to create a situation where our young players had to earn their spot on the team, where they didn't get their at-bats or get their innings just because we didn't have anyone else, that they actually had to earn it, they had to show they were ready, and they had a foundation to succeed, at this level. So by bringing in some of those veterans, then even some of the trades and free agent signings we made on the position player side, Jake McCarthy, Willie Castro, same idea was, let's get some more veteran presence in here, sort of steady the ship, and then let these young players, earn their spots.
So we're just getting to know Paul DePodesta.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is going to go. We could be looking back at this as the craziest idea that the Rockies have ever had.
I'm going to look at it like the Moneyball. He's going to turn this around.
Well, hopefully that's the case. But like in 10 years, we could look back at, do you remember the time where the Rockies hired the GM of the Cleveland Browns? Like, think about how stupid that was, and it blew up in their face. It could. But I'm going into this next window of time with an open mind when it comes to Paul DePodesta, and I really like that answer that he gave. Talking about raising the floor. You are not going to get at-bats and innings of pitching with the Colorado Rockies just because you do. And it's like a birthright because there's no one else here. Compete a little bit, earn your spot, and if you can, then we'll move forward with you. But if not, you're not going to be, we're not playing young guys just for the sake of playing young guys.
No, for sure. And you can actually hurt a young guy's confidence if you throw them out there when they're not ready. So you bring in these vets that can teach them. They bring in the vets that can fill that void. And hopefully these young guys can help or develop under these older guys, and you go from there. I like the approach too, man. I would have went the same way. Get some older guys in the building that are still hungry, that can keep you afloat until these young guys can come up the right way and build that foundation that way.
In terms of what should the aim be? What would define success for the Colorado Rockies after the worst season in team history? We'll go around the room. We'll get everyone's responses on that. And also, Russell Wilson finally spoke up about Sean Payton on the record. You'll hear it next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we'd love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans, at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store or you can shop online. Staples, that was easy.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, halfway home here on a Tuesday. Appreciate you guys rocking with. We're just having the Rockies conversation because we're less than a month away from the start of the Major League Baseball season, and we are exactly 1 month away from opening day at Coors Field.
It's coming.
It is coming. There's no doubt. The Rockies have been kind of fun to watch here in the spring. Now, does that translate to anything? Last year it sure didn't. They played pretty well last spring, and they lost the most games in the history of the franchise.
But it gets you excited.
It does.
Right? You're excited about it. Like, what are these young guys going to do if they get the opportunity to play in the big leagues? Like, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. We're going to hear from Russell Wilson in just a second, who spoke about Sean Payton in like an official capacity for really the first time into a microphone on a podcast. We'll play that for you before this segment is done. But we were just talking about, like, hey, what would define success for the Colorado Rockies after the worst season in team history? You know, for the longest time, the Rockies never lost 100 games. Almost in a way that, and I don't know if people realize this, like almost every Major League Baseball team loses 100 games at some point. The Rockies for 25 years didn't.
They held on.
So for as much as you can say, hey, they've never won the division, which is obviously hyper relevant, they never actually bottomed out. And Dante, we talk about this, you know, behind the scenes, not on the air, but it was not too long ago that you were looking at teams that hold themselves with great pride and team history that bottomed out in a way that the Rockies never had until this point of time, right?
Yeah, it was during the season in which they lost 100 games. I remember I sent you like a whole graphic of it, and it was all the teams that since the Rockies were introduced into the MLB that have not lost 100 games. And it was the Red Sox. It was the Yankees. It was... I can't exactly remember the entirety of the list.
It was a short list, though.
It was about 8 teams, and all of them are held in really high regard around the MLB. So I would assume it was like the Giants were on that list, or teams like that that are just well-run franchises.
Well, so after never losing 100, the team has lost 100 or more for 3 straight years. 103 losses in 2023, 101 loss in 101 loss season in 2024, and then last year it was the worst that it's ever been. I mean, last year was 16 losses worse than the worst season of all time when they lost 119 games. I mean, 43 wins. That is incredible. So looking at it with sober eyes, what would define success? Being realistic with this team after a 119-loss season, what would define success for you, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're going to lose 100 games again. They're going to go 4 straight years of losing 100 games. Now, 43 and 119, that's not going to happen this year. They're going to win 52 games. They're going to look a lot better. They're going to stay in these games. That's what I want for the Rockies. Can you stay in these games at the end of these innings, right? Right at the end of them, like, okay, they have a chance to win. They may not win with some of these young guys that are going to be around, but are you in games? Are you competitive? So I'm going to say 52 games this year, but they're exciting, right? You get to see these young guys, some of the core players, like Ezekiel Tovar, like they get back to themselves. Like he gets back to himself. Like things like that I'm looking for the Colorado Rockies this year.
Well, it was just 2 years ago they went 61 and 101. For me, and this is going to sound like a moronic statement, it might be too lofty. But if they can find a way to win 2 more games than they did 2 years ago and win 63 games is what I'm looking for.
Right.
And that will avoid a 4th consecutive 100-loss season. Is it possible? I think it's possible. I know it's possible. Is that likely? No, it's not. It's unlikely. But I will aim high and say a 63-win season. 63 and 99 is what I think would represent some success. Guys, behind the glass, what for you personally, what would represent success?
I think it's about having the young players come in and be successful, or at least be pillars on the, whether you're part of the rotation or in the lineup. I think it's about Charlie Condon playing pretty well in the bigs this year. It's about Dolander, and you guys mentioned in the last segment, he doesn't have to be the ace anymore. He doesn't have to go out there with all that pressure. It's, hey, can you be a number 3 in the rotation and be respectable in that role? Same with it's Ezekiel Tovar bouncing back. He had a pretty bad year last year, banged up and injured throughout that. But can you return to the player you were 2 years ago?
He was so exciting 2 years ago.
Oh, he was great. I think he won a Gold Glove that year. He was on his. He was part of that young shortstops group of him and Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt. And those other 2 guys are playing for Team USA this year. They're some of the best shortstops in the league. Tovar isn't thought of the same because of the year he had last year. Same with like Brenton Doyle. Can he just be a glue guy on your roster, be continue competitive at bats, and be a decent hitter even when he's batting 7th or whatever it is? He's not going to be a superstar, but as long as he can be a respectable player out there. So I think wins wise, we're looking at maybe 65 plus would be successful. I think if you get 55 plus, it's maybe average, man. But I think if you can get to that 65 number, that'd be successful.
Drew, what do you think?
I pretty much second everything Dante said. The only thing I will add to it is, like you mentioned, Chase Dolander. I want to see some of these other young pitchers, see what they have. Because you got to start finding arms. That's always the biggest thing in Coors Field. You got to have the arms in the starting rotation in order to have success. So is Ryan Feltner that guy? Is Blaylock some of these guys? Some of these other guys that they can step up. Antonio Senzatella kind of is what he is. It's kind of getting towards the end of his career anyway. So let me see those other guys take the next step. As far as a successful season for this year, I'll say give me 60 wins, and I'd be happy. And honestly, even 55, depending on how it looked. Like if you start seeing progress from these other guys, but let's just say that the bullpen stinks, which it probably isn't going to be very good. I wouldn't expect it to be. And if maybe that's the reason that you only get to 55 wins as opposed to 60. But just show me that the trajectory is going up, especially with some of these young guys. They're like, hey, that guy's got a future. That guy's got a future. Things like that. Like any of these veteran guys don't really care what they do. I just want to see the young guys take that next step and develop.
Yeah, and to that conversation of like, which one of these guys can be on the next Rockies team that's competitive again, and evaluate it like that. And even Tovar, like the guy's going into Major League season number 5. He's still just 24 years old.
Oh, they're young.
So I'll be watching. So the
odds makers have it at, 54.5 this year?
Is that what it is? Is it 54.5 is the over-under?
I think that's the number I saw was 54.5.
Okay. All right.
I'm expecting all you guys to go over then.
Dude, I've gone over all these years and just bleeding out. Just absolutely bleeding out.
You're due.
Here's, I'm due, right. and honestly, I can't not. Because what, are they going to hit the over in the year that I don't bet them after?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you would be upset.
So I'm pot committed now. Here is Russell Wilson sitting down with the podcast Bussin' with the Boys, asked about Sean Payton. Check this out.
Classless, ... but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Now,
don't say much. I never probably.
All right, hold on a second. He was Oh, okay. Dante's going to play it off the computer. This is a different cut here. Who is a Bussin' with the Boys? It's a Taylor Lewan and
Will Compton.
Will Compton. That's right. So you have that cut ready? Okay. This was the exchange with Russell Wilson and the Bussin' with the Boys duo.
Buddy, I'll be honest with you. That's awesome.
What tweet?
Oh, yeah, I'll read the tweet. This is the tweet that you put out. Classless, ... but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Now, to put a tweet like that is like very humanizing. When I saw that tweet, I'm like, dude, this is badass.
And then Russell Wilson bites back.
I don't say much. I never hardly ever say anything. I think there's a time and place. But sometimes you get fatigued of people talking about you. You just like you mentioned, we're all human. But it's one thing for people that maybe aren't in the field or aren't, people say bots or whatever, talking. Yeah. Like I don't worry about that stuff. Like that never. But to me, when you've been in the ring or you've been on the same side of this and that, and I got the same amount of rings as you got, meaning Sean. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him as a play caller, this and that. But to take a shot, I don't like. I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm not even on your own team anymore. So for me, I've realized I've stayed quiet for so long. There's a time and place where I'm not. For me, I know who I am as a competitor, as a warrior, as a champion too. I've beaten Sean too. Like we've been on the same place and same thing. And so it's not a matter of disrespect. Just don't disrespect me.
All right. I want to get your thoughts on what Russell Wilson said just there.
Go!
Also, what did we make of the maybe a bit of a rumor coming out of the NFL Combine relating to a Broncos starter and a potential trade? That's all next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
For many of us, it's happened before. Your hair is thinning, crowns disappearing. Maybe the hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. The solution that worked for me, it's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to world-class Dr. Tanya Paul's, it's not maybe your hair will regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's why Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR. That's 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
303 Law 4040. Want to share one of the best compliments we've ever received. Had a listener call in to 303 Law 4040. His name was Peter. His wife was viciously attacked in a dog bite incident. So we set up a time to have him come in, and I met with him at length while his wife was recovering at the hospital. A couple days later, my wife recognized the number. She had spoken to Peter before. So when the phone call came in, she said, Peter! It was actually Peter's wife. She said, how did you know? She said, well, we love our clients. She was just surprised that we recognized the number. We had her come in, we met with her, and she says, I feel like we're your only clients. It's really awesome. We're not your only clients, are we? No, they're not our only clients, but what a compliment that our clients feel valued and that we treat them with such a high level of service. If you ever need us, that's the type of service you will get too. It's Jacob's Law, 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
So you dust the mantle on Monday, and it's covered again by Tuesday. It's frustrating, right? But don't just look at the mantle. Do me a favor. Remove one of your vents and take a look inside. You see that buildup? That's where the musty smell of dust is coming from. Your home system is just recirculating that dust over and over again until you finally press that reset button on your home's air quality. Mark Schlereth here. You need to call my friends at Ductworks. Ductworks sets the standard for clean air in Colorado. In fact, they are NADCA certified, which means they're insured and you're receiving quality through knowledge. And they don't just blow the air around. They use specialized scraping system to scrub the walls of your air ducts, removing years of grime. Call them today at 303-425-0985 for a free estimate. Commercial or residential, get a fresh start today. Call 303-425-0985 or visit them at ductworks.com.
303-425-0985.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really? Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
My father started Williams Jewelers in 1947 as a humble little neighborhood jewelry shop, and I opened our Cherry Creek North store in 1973. I'm Bruce Williams.
And I'm Michelle Williams. I literally grew up here in the jewelry business, grading diamonds and gemstones and designing custom jewelry for families just like yours.
Here at Williams Jewelers, you'll find our curated collections, including Hearts on Fire, Liga Bahar, Sloan Street, Mastaloni pearls, and dozens more.
And a diamond and bridal department with the latest engagement ring styles and wedding bands from Tacori, A. Jaffe, and Gabriel & Company.
Add to that Tag Heuer sporting watches and pre-owned Rolex timepieces, all at the guaranteed best prices in Colorado.
At Williams Jewelers, we're proudly old school Cherry Creek North, where people and sweet puppies are always welcome.
And where you'll always be treated just like our father would.
Like family.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, rolling along here on a Tuesday. Russell Wilson finally spoke up about Sean Payton on the record.
Let him cook. Let Russ cook.
And I also am curious of your thoughts about a little rumor put out there by Jeremy Fowler from the NFL Combine, talking about potentially trading a Denver Broncos starter on offense. We'll get to that here in just a second. But in the meantime, I am curious of your thoughts of the former Broncos quarterback, who at a certain point in time, man, we thought that the savior was ascending or descending down onto Denver, Colorado, like from the heavens. And goodness gracious,
this is not a drill.
It turned out to be an absolute disaster. And the entire fan base was taking victory laps on the Seattle Seahawks fan base and organization when the deal got made.
It's understandable, though. I mean, it's Russell Wilson. Isn't that what Hackett said? This is freaking Russell
Yeah,
Wilson.
he did. I just hit something wrong on this iPad. Can you just pop your head in here real quick, Dante? Because I do want to, because our audience is always coming and going. And so if you didn't hear the comments that we played at the end of the last segment, I would like to reset them. I thought it was I thought it was a kind of a human moment for Russell Wilson.
The realest moment in a while, huh?
Well, you can decide for yourself. This is the clip again. Russell Wilson on the podcast, Bussin' with the Boys.
Broncos, the situation, which I'm going to read the tweet because, buddy, I'll be honest with you, that's awesome.
What tweet?
Oh, yeah, I'll read the tweet. This is the tweet that you put out. Classless, ... but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Now, to put a tweet like that is like very humanizing. When I saw that tweet, I'm like, dude, this is badass.
In there, Russell Wilson bites back.
I don't say much. I never hardly ever say anything. I think there's a time and place. But sometimes you get fatigued of people talking about you. You just like you mentioned, we're all human. But it's one thing for people that maybe aren't in the field or aren't people say bots or whatever talking. Like I don't worry about that stuff. Like that never. But to me, when you've been in the ring or you've been on the same side of this and that, and I got the same amount of rings as you got, meaning Sean. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him as a play caller, this and that. But to take a shot, I don't like. I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm not even on your own team anymore. So for me, I've realized I've stayed quiet for so long. There's a time and place where I'm not. For me, I know who I am as a competitor, as a warrior, as a champion too. I've beaten Sean too. Like we've been on the same place and same thing. And so it's not a matter of disrespect. Just don't disrespect me.
All right, and just to provide the full scope of context, that tweet was sent by Russell Wilson after the New York Giants game, and Sean Payton took a shot at Russell Wilson.
He did.
A not-so-veiled shot. It was like everyone knew what he was talking about when he said, hey, we really liked that quarterback, Jackson Dart, and we were hoping the other guy, we were hoping to see the other guy, which was Russ. And the game would have been easier to win if Russell Wilson was playing quarterback. So not too hard to figure out what he meant there. So Russ fires off the tweet, and now 4 months later he's on this podcast addressing it. How do you think he came off there?
I loved it. I love that Russ went out there and he showed like he is human, that he does feel pain, that he wasn't okay with what Sean did, and that he took too much crap from Sean anyway, and we know that.
Yep.
We talked about it all the time. So I was okay with Russ firing back at Sean because there was no reason for Sean to go out there and take that shot after beating the Giants anyway, and it was a tough win that you probably should have came out with the win anyway, but you do. And so it's like, why take that shot at Russ? Why is Russ living rent-free in your head when you decided to let him go, when you decided to cut him? There's a reason for that. You didn't like him. You got rid of him. You have your quarterback in the building, and yet you're still thinking about Russ. So I love what Russ did there. He stood up for himself.
Yeah, he did. And look, two things can be true at the same time. Russell Wilson was one of my least favorite athletes to cover, and I'm not going to re-itemize all the reasons why because I could, and I don't want to do that right now. But he was one of my least favorite athletes to cover ever. But also, what can also be true is that was Sean being Sean. Sean taking a shot, right? Unnecessary, punching down at a player who wasn't even playing in the game that day. And look, that's Sean. And then you get the Russell response. But I think there's a reason that I used the word humanize and Taylor Lewan used the word, hey, that kind of humanized you, because Russell Wilson does come off as a bit of a robot. And so it's like, yeah, he has feelings. Like your shots bother him. He considers it disrespect, and he wants to speak on it. And I did find myself listening to him and saying, okay, there's a human being in there.
And I love that you have Russ that's looking at him like, look, you're not better than me. We have the exact same record when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. I've won a Super Bowl, and he's actually been to 2, if you're talking about Russell Wilson. And he's a grown-ass man as well. So for someone like Sean to think that, like, I can punch down at you and look down at you, it's like, buddy, we're the same when it comes to the accolades and everything that we have done. Now, of course, you're a coach, I'm a player, but let's not forget how I looked and how I was when I first started this journey, what I was doing, and even beating you at times. So I love that he brought that in there, because a lot of times coaches, they think they're invincible as well. And I've been a part of that, where a coach is talking to you like you're a little kid. And it's like, dude, we're the same now. We're grown. We both have kids.
Yep.
We're trying to win, and let's talk to each other the same way.
Very interesting. All right. Somehow we got another chapter of this feud that's like carried on for years at this point. So, all right, we'll leave that where it lies. What did you make of Jeremy Fowler from the NFL Combine saying that Ben Powers, starting left guard, could be a trade piece this offseason because of the cap savings if you trade him, and Yeah, what did you make of that?
You know what, Z? People talk. You go to the combine. Agents are at the combine for a reason because they're trying to talk for their client. They're trying to see what's out there, a trade can get done, how much money you're going to make. That's when I actually found out that Elway wasn't going to sign that contract for me, that he was going to go elsewhere and try to go for Melvin Gordon, because my agent goes to the combine, has a sit-down talk with him. They don't even bring up my contract. They bring up somebody else's. Mike says, hey, look, like, I'm here for Phil. What's going on? And they're like, hey, you know, Elway didn't say anything about Uncle Phil. And so people talk at the combine. So the rumors may be true. Do I like them right now with Ben Powers? No, I want to keep this offensive line group together for another year. Another one. I want to see what it looks like with a healthy Ben Powers to go with the guys that he's been around for multiple years now, 3 or 4 years, right? For sure, 3.
Yeah, for sure.
And so what does that look like if everybody's healthy? The offensive line, now, people may look at it like, hey, they're not the best offensive line in the league, but they're one of the best. And they've been able to keep Bo Nix healthier than people think. Bo Nix is able to get the ball out of his hands. Now, of course, Bo Nix has dealt with some injuries, but that's not all on the defensive line or the offensive line. That's not all on them. That's on Bo Nix being smart with the football and then a couple crazy things happening to him. So I want to keep this offensive line intact together for one more year. Sign Palczewski still, because he's a do-it-all kind of guy. He can play tackle. He can play guard. He can play whatever you want him to play. But Mr. Ben Powers has one more year on his contract. See that through. Let's see if we can win a Super Bowl with this offensive line.
All right, I would entertain it. I really would. I think that Ben Powers is expendable at this point. And sometimes I feel guilty because you're talking about like shipping a guy out of town, but it's professional football, right? And I think he became expendable when he got hurt and there was very little drop-off from Alex Palczewski. And you have groomed Palczewski for a moment like this to step in and assume a starting role. He's going to be significantly cheaper than Powers, so you're going to save money there. Also, you're going to in this scenario, you're trading him, so you're gaining another draft asset. And I just go back to the time where, you know, Paucho's filling in for Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers, and man, he filled in admirably. So if you're looking to get creative, you already have a succession plan there. So I would consider it. Now,
are you confident that Palczewski can help us win the Super Bowl being a starting caliber guard?
Yes.
You don't believe that?
Yes, I do.
You don't believe
yes, I
that?
do. Yes, I do. And here's how I'll explain it this way in terms of like my conviction on it. If you never told me in a fictitious universe, you never told me that Ben Powers got hurt and Paucho wore his jersey, I would not be able to tell. I thought he filled in very, very well.
The disrespect. The run game went to you know what?
Well,
that's not just all on the running back now.
I was going to say
Ben Powers was out.
It kind of coincided with a major injury.
For sure, but Ben Powers, his superpower, power is getting downhill, right? Sean brought him in to be an offensive line run blocker. And once he got out, of course, with J.K. Dobbins leaving as well, it wasn't the same. Now, I'm not saying Palczewski's a bad fit. I think he's a great fit, and that's why you still sign him. He can do it all. Really, really versatile. But we got to put more respect on Ben Powers' name and what he does.
All right. I would entertain it. That's where I'm at, and it sounds like the Broncos could be having that same thought. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that actually ages and unfolds. All right, it was a Nuggets win, but it didn't exactly inspire confidence. We'll unpack the weird mix of relief and was it an embarrassing win? That's next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Overpaying for cleaning that still isn't done right? Pike Janitorial has served Denver businesses since 1994 with professionally supervised commercial cleaning that gets done right the first time. Offices, warehouses, medical facilities. They show up, handle it, and you don't have to think about it. And they'll beat your current cleaner's price by 10%. Guaranteed. Better service, lower cost, no headaches. Call 303-306-0290 today. Pike Janitorial. Clean you can count on.
When the Nuggets are knocking down threes, you score too. If Denver hits 15 or more three-pointers, you score a free 28-ounce Gatorade Lower Sugar the very next day at your friendly King Soopers. Gatorade Lower Sugar is scientifically formulated with Gatorade's #1 proven electrolyte blend and has 75% less sugar than Gatorade Thirst Quencher and no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. Big shots deserve next-level hydration. Only at King Soopers.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Have you looked at your credit card statement lately? You're working 40, 50 hours a week just to buy groceries and gas, things you used to be able to afford. And the credit card companies are charging you over 20% interest for the privilege. Think about that. Over 20%. It's designed to keep you underwater. American Financing is doing something they hate. They're actually helping people. They have mortgage rates in the 5. They're showing homeowners how to take their hard-earned equity to wipe out that high-interest debt. The average savings is $800 a month. So talk to a salary-based mortgage consultant. No upfront fees, no obligation to see how much you can save. And if you start today, you could delay 2 mortgage payments. Give American Financing a call. America's home for home loans at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.196 for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Go-to spot in Centennial, the Basketball Social House is it. Award-winning food and drinks, an incredible weekend brunch, and a brand new sports bar entertainment space where you can catch every Colorado game. Even if you're not playing, it's a great hang. But if you are, their private basketball suites are unreal. Full court, lounge, music, TVs, the whole setup. And because you're hearing this from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental. Just use code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, you're going to love this place.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, the Denver Nuggets. Holy moly.
Nugs.
Oh, last night was interesting.
Hey,
All
we
right.
won. We won.
Yes, and that truly is the most important detail about last night. The Denver Nuggets won a game, okay? Obviously, they had dropped back-to-back games over the weekend. They had lost 3 of their previous 4 games. And one of those losses was arguably the worst loss of the season on national TV against the Golden State Warriors, who didn't have Steph Curry, didn't have Jimmy Butler, didn't have Draymond Green, didn't have Kristaps Porzingis, and they unraveled in crunch time.
Well, if they would have lost last night, would we be saying that was the worst loss of the season?
1,000%. That would have taken the crown with ease. You have an organization in the Denver Nuggets who are trying to win a championship, playing a organization in the Utah Jazz that is purposefully trying to lose as many games as possible. But that's the organizational approach. So you're not seeing their frontline players. They're showing them on the bench in street clothes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the Utah Jazz players that are out there are down with the tank. They're playing as hard as they possibly can. They're just not looked at as, a legitimate NBA operation right now because they're purposefully trying not to be that. So the Nuggets won. I'll probably say that 2 or 3 more times here. But it took everything in a 128-125 win against the worst team in basketball, who was trying to win their 19th game. The Jazz are 18-43. And it almost went down. It almost went down. It took 45 points and some heroic shot making from Jamal Murray to avoid the worst loss of the season.
Yeah, I looked at the game last night. I'm like, you got to be kidding me that we're getting ready to get beat by the Jazz. And you know what, Z? If it didn't come to that controversial call with Jokic and the foul and then going back and challenging it, I don't think the Nuggets win the game. I think that you have the Jazz who go to the free throw line. My guess is he knocks down both them shots, has a little bit of confidence, and they end up winning the game. And now we're sitting here saying, what in the world's going on with the Denver Nuggets? How could they do that? How could they lose when you have Jamal Murray, who goes for over 40 points? How could you lose when you have the best player in the world with Jokic on the court together and yet you lose? So that couldn't have happened. It didn't happen, thank God.
Thank God.
But overall, man, I'm just numb to the Denver Nuggets and what's going on over there. They're so inconsistent. It's like, who are you guys? What is the identity? What are you guys going to look like when the playoffs come rolling around? I understand that they're banged up. I understand that Payton Watson and Aaron Gordon are not back, and they were out without Cam Johnson and Spencer Jones. But you still should be able to handle one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA, on a Monday night. And it was just one of these things where I'm sitting back saying, man, what are we doing? Is this a championship team? Right now, it does not look like a championship team. And I could be wrong. They could pick it up and flip that switch. But right now, as of March, was it 3rd?
Yeah.
They're struggling.
They are, man. They are. And the whole vibe with the team is off right now. The whole vibe. And defensively, they are as bad as anyone in the league. And even as the game carried on into the fourth quarter, when it's like, okay, like the dad strength is coming out, like we're going to buckle down, get some stops, and beat this terrible basketball team who has 18 wins. It never happened. Utah was getting to the basket time after time after time. And that's like when you talk about like just fundamental problems that the Denver Nuggets have that have persisted all year. Like when it comes to clutch defense in the last 5 minutes of a game, when the game is within 5 points, they are the second worst clutch defense in the entire NBA to only the Brooklyn Nets, who are also tanking. And so it's, I don't know, man. I'm running out of. They won the game.
Yeah, you have to kind of make sure you say that.
Yep, they won the game.
Remind yourself it.
But if you're watching these games, the games are getting harder to watch despite the win. And the Matador defense it's a huge problem. And it extends more than just, hey, this is who's not out there. Like they care so little about that side of the floor. And maybe there will be a flip switched. Maybe.
But that's usually is not the case.
Typically not.
Usually you are who you are. And even when you get some of your best defensive players back like AG and Payton Watson, is that enough runway for them to really get going?
Right.
Can you rely on them? How will their hamstring hold up? You have to be able to help them out, especially if something does happen to one of them. And the Nuggets right now, they don't play good defense at all.
Not at all.
And if they do have a good game where they play really good defense, you can't count on them to have it again the next game.
Correct.
Now, of course, somebody could sit here and say, well, they're on a back-to-back and they got beat by the Wolves and they got beat by the Thunder and they're tired. No, that's an excuse. Everybody is going through it. Everybody has back-to-back. Everybody is trying to jockey for this placing when it comes to the postseason so that you have a better opportunity to win and go further in the postseason. So the Nuggets have to figure things out. Jokic himself, he has to figure things out because he doesn't look the same either.
No, he doesn't. He is shooting under 50% for the month for the first time since November 2020. I mean, that is a long time ago.
We're in 26 right now.
Yeah, yeah. I know he's got an issue with his wrist, but that's persisted for years now. And he doesn't look like he is in great shape. And they're just off. Christian Brown, he was available last night playing defense. He was a traffic cone. And Keontae George just absolutely, if you guys haven't watched this young man play, and I'm just assuming if you're listening to this, you watched the game last night, but Keontae George, 22 years old, out of Baylor, 36 points. He was doing whatever he wanted. And when I was growing up back in New York State, they used to have something called the Empire State Games. And what they would do is they would take New York State and they would divide it up into 6 different sections. And every summer, they had the Empire State Games where all these sports you would try out to make the team for your region. So there's like the New York City region, the Long Island region, the Adirondack region, the Niagara Falls region, all that. And so I was lucky enough to make the team for the Adirondack team when I was in college. And I had a teammate named Jason Siggers, who was an awesome player at the University of Albany and had a great career overseas. That's his dad. Keontae George's father was my former teammate for the Empire State Games those years ago. So I'm rooting for that young man, but not to the tune of 36 points on the Denver Nuggets. I mean, it was a show between Jamal Murray and 22-year-old Keontae George, and Murray got the best of it going for 45. But if he doesn't go for 45 points and it's a season high, Nuggets lose that game. Nuggets lose.
The Denver Nuggets right now defensively, they're like the cheap toilet paper. You can just poke through them. You need like double up that toilet paper, or you're gonna have stinky fingers.
2-ply, more of a 2-ply defense.
There you go.
All right. If you watched it and you have a thought on that game and want to react to it, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Okay. So free agency in the NFL is 6 days away, and dominoes are already falling before the Broncos make their first move. Also, someone in Denver sports is on the verge of doing something that has never been done, and it's happening right underneath our nose. Also, Mike Evans blasting Gabe Landeskog. Fair or unfair? We'll get to all of that as we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
Head to Facebook.com/DenverSports1043 The Fan to watch Orange and Blue Today, The Rundown, and Denver Sports Daily on demand. Take your favorite shows with you anytime, anywhere. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of my friends at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there. How many of you guys are living with a mediocre sex life? It's fine, it's good enough, but maybe the pills work okay, could be better. Could intimacy feel exciting again? Guys, sex, intimacy, and love are essential for a fulfilling relationship, but when erectile dysfunction gets in the way, it creates strain, frustration, in some cases distance for you and your partner. Don't let that continue. Guys, ED is a medical condition, and like most other medical conditions, it's treatable. And I'm talking about success rates at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic with their treatments that have success rates well over 90%. All right? So at this point, it's almost a choice if you're not picking up the phone and reaching out. All right? So go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. All right? Make an appointment. Your initial visit is just $99. Includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. It's real simple, fellas. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit's free. So call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Colorado. Love horsepower and serious adventure? The Great American RV Show hits the Colorado Convention Center March 12th through the 14th. Rugged RVs, overland builds, solar, suspension, off-grid tech, 150 brands, 10 major dealers. Tickets $12 online at GreatAmericanRV.show, where serious gear meets real adventure.
Spring weather is unpredictable. You never know which way you'll be adjusting your thermostat unless you have the right windows. And that's why with WindowNation.com, you can count on your home being comfortable regardless of the weather. Their windows are customizable and energy efficient. Expert installers take just one day, and Window Nation products are backed by a lifetime warranty. There's no better time to upgrade with Window Nation. In March, the more you buy, the more you could save. Up to 50% off all window styles. Visit WindowNation.com for your free consultation today.
At Belco Credit Union, we want to make your dream renovation a reality. Maybe that means a modern kitchen upgrade or a luxurious new bathroom. With Belco's Home Equity Choice line, you can get easy access to funds with the freedom and convenience of a home equity line of credit, plus the security and stability of a home equity loan. Plus, Belco is also offering low rates for qualified borrowers. Learn more at belco.org/choiceline. Belco is an equal opportunity housing lender. Belco, banking for everyone.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale on no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
You can't always predict what's next, but you can be ready for it in a BMW SUV. The performance-driven X1 comes built for every journey, while the X3's sporty design and innovative technology keep your drive connected. The X5 blends performance with a commanding presence, or make it even bigger with 3 rows of luxurious seating in the X7. For every road, there's an X built to drive it. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040, the husband and wife law firm where you don't get passed around to a law clerk or some call center overseas. You always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Score big, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Thinking about upgrading your home's HVAC? Then Day and Night Mechanical Solutions of Denver can help and save you money. You may qualify for up to $20,000 in rebates through the Colorado HERE program and Excel Energy for energy-efficient heat pump systems. Day and Night Mechanical has the inside track on this program and will guide you through every step. Upgrade your HVAC and save big bucks. Visit dnmech.com. Act now while the offer lasts. Day and Night Mechanical Solutions. They fix it right, day and night.
Denver counts on Fix It 24/7 for heating and plumbing with legendary service. Proud partner of the Denver Broncos and proud to serve the community. Book now at fixmyhome.com.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, welcome back to it. Rolling downhill here on a Tuesday. Got a lot to get to. All right, luckily we have a pretty good runway to get to it all. First things first, Xavier Abetta. You could be heading to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world thanks to 303 Law 4040. Call us back within the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043 to be entered into our drawing for the Superfan Send-Off Grand Prize. A pair of 2 nights tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver to Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. Xavier Abetta, A-B-E-Y-T-A. Call us now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't already signed up, guys, there's still time. Head to denversports.com/superfan and make sure to listen weekdays every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to hear if your name is called. All right, a lot to get to here. First things first, we'll save the Mike Evans stuff for just a second because
we're gonna need a lot of time with that one. We're gonna need a lot of time with that.
We have nothing but time here. I think someone in Denver sports is on the verge of doing something that's never been done. It's happening right underneath our nose, and I'm not sure how many people are aware of this. So Nathan McKinnon last night scored his NHL-leading 41st goal. He is 6 goals ahead of second place.
Man.
Think about that, a 6-goal cushion.
That's a bad dude.
You are not kidding. His 99 points ranks only second to Connor McDavid, who has 103, so 4 points behind him, but Nate has played in 3 less games. He is currently riding a 4-game multi-point streak. Here's what I think that needs more attention drawn onto it, a light shined onto it. Is Nathan McKinnon is now minus money to win the Hart Trophy, the NHL MVP. This happened very recently. He is now minus 140 to win the award. Guys, that means you now have to bet more money than you're winning because it's so favored to happen. Minus 140. So if you want to make $100, you would have to bet $140 to win $100. The next MVP candidate is Nikita Kucherov, who's having a fantastic season. He's nearly 3-1 at plus 285. So just to follow through with the exercise, if you bet $100 on Nikita Kucherov to win the award, and he did, you'd get that $100 bet back plus $285. There is a massive delta between minus 140 and plus 285.
That's insane. That's insane to think that Nate Dogg has a chance, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it as long as he stays healthy. The Avalanche are rolling. We know they're a wagon. The only thing that we have talked about this team that needs to improve is the power play, which, by the way, they scored a power play goal last night.
They did.
So everything is on the up and up for Nate Dogg to win his second Hart Trophy, and his guys around him are going to make sure that happens, and the team as a whole. I mean, they're the first team to get to 40 wins. So, yes, Nate Dogg is going to win this award as long as everything continues to go well for this man.
Well, if this happens, This is part of the gravity of the conversation that I want everyone to understand. If this happens, Nathan MacKinnon will be in a class of his own. No one in the history of the Colorado Avalanche has ever won 2 Hart trophies. Joe Sakic won in 2001 season. Forsberg won the Hart in the 02-03 season. MacKinnon, we know, just won it recently in the 23-24 season. But if you just look at the history of Denver sports, there is only one athlete ever that has won multiple MVPs, and that's Nikola Jokic. And that, of course, that's why that he is he's untouchable. He is the greatest athlete to ever come through Denver sports, ever. All right? His resume is the most legitimate resume in the history of Denver sports.
And that's a fact.
It's a fact, plus a championship and a finals MVP to go with it. John Elway won the MVP in 1987. He's got one. Terrell Davis in 1998, I think it was. He's got one. Peyton Manning in 2013, he won one. 5 overall, obviously, but just one here in Denver. You have Sakic, you have Forsberg. Larry Walker won an NL MVP at one point, I think 97, but never a second one. Like, it would be MacKinnon and Jokic. That's it, who are both at the peak of their powers at the same time right now. And I just think, again, if he does this and pulls this off, and I expect him to, he is going to be in that Mount Rushmore of the history of Denver sports conversation, as he will have done only what Jokic has.
Now, the reason why you're bringing this up is obviously it's like you think it's going under the radar, which to me sucks because I think we take Nathan MacKinnon for granted, just like we do Jokic. And because he's always available, he's out there, he's playing great hockey right now. I mean, if you watched the game last night.
Oh, my gosh. That first line was humming.
They're gelling in, and they're getting their second win. They're coming back from the Olympics. They're starting to get into a rhythm, into a groove. I know it's against the LA Kings, but that's their problem, not ours, and they look really good. But what I was saying is you could take a superstar like that for granted because they're always available. They're always there. They're so consistent. But, man, the minute that they leave, you feel their presence more than you would ever for anybody else. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I didn't even think of it like that. I know that Nate Dogg won 1 Hart Trophy, but to win it again, it would be Jokic and Nathan MacKinnon.
That's the list.
And that's the list for multiple MVPs.
Crazy, man. Crazy. He's going to do it. I mean, he's playing his best hockey right now. He is the number 1 in the NHL in plus-minus. When Nathan MacKinnon has been on the ice for the Avs this season, they're beating their opponents by 53 goals. Wow. Okay. So you have that. I just wanted to shine a light on that. Avs get it done last night. You love to see it.
Yes,
they score on the power play. You love to see it. And just a quick comment on the power play, because I've seen some of this noise on social media where, and I'm going to bring up Mike Evans here, in a way that I typically don't. I don't go really back and forth with Mike, just kind of do our own thing here. It's just not my style of radio. But I have to bring up Mike because we're getting lumped in with him on social media with our discussion about the power play. And Mike is, completely misrepresenting our conversations about the power play, saying that we believe that it's just on the coaches. We're saying it's just on the coaches, and the coaches' heads need to roll. And I'm being serious. I have no idea what he's talking about. I have no frame of reference what he's talking about. My position has been crystal clear, and I think yours as well, is that when you're the worst in the league, and you're also historically bad over a 10-year sample size by net power play, assigning blame to just one party is a fool's errand. This is everyone's got their fingerprints. When it's this bad, everyone's got their fingerprints on it. So, again, just assigning it's just on the coaches or just on the players. When it's this bad, Phil, it's on everyone.
Yeah, and then the one thing that we have talked about is hey, look, they can improve here. They should improve no matter where you are as a coach, as a player. You're always looking for improvement. What can you do so that when you get to the postseason, it doesn't hurt you? Last year, the power play hurt the Colorado Avalanche. This year, the power play, if they don't get it together, can hurt the Colorado Avalanche. That is all we talked about. Other than that, the Avs are a wagon. 5-on-5, they're dominant. The penalty kill, they're dominant. All right, now, yes, we're going to nitpick here and there because it's a long-ass season. But overall, the Colorado Avalanche, they should go and win it all. This is a cup or bust. power play not doing or not, they have enough to win. But yeah, what Mike is doing or putting words in our mouth, I mean, it's crazy talk.
No, and that's why I don't like to go back and forth because
Yeah.
oftentimes what you say is just completely twisted in a knot, and if you don't hear us say it, you just believe what's being said. So, and that's not just a Mike thing. That's just radio and this business in general. But Mike, I think that he had a take on Gabe Landeskog that has almost gone like locally viral, if you will.
No, it went viral.
Well, not like coast to coast.
No, but locally,
Yeah, for sure. He blasted Gabe Landeskog. Do we think it's fair or foul? This is Mike from this morning.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. Okay,
Keep going. No.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. The reason why I say and I acknowledge Gabe's leadership is because if you didn't think about the impact he makes as a leader and you were just left with who he is right now as a hockey player, you would be forced to say Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year. Here's a guy who's one of the top 5 highest paid guys on your team. He's making $7 million a year. I don't want to hear about the fact that he's been, all the time he's missed because Mark Schlereth, what do you always say about somebody who's out there playing?
If you're good enough to be on the ice, you're good enough to play at top level.
And produce.
Yeah.
And be expected to produce.
Yeah.
Okay, especially for what you're making. So for a guy who's making $7 million a year and has 8 goals and 19 assists this year for just 27 points, for what he's being paid, he has been an underachieving disappointment.
All right, so that's in a nutshell of what he said this morning, and I have to push back. And like when I say fair or foul, it's foul. It's foul. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
Not that Gabe is above reproach or criticism or any of that. I just don't see the evidence lining up with what Mike said, and I'll hand you that evidence here in 20 seconds. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive.
Woo!
All right.
What is going on, man? I'll tell you this. I woke up this morning feeling good. The Avs won. All right, they had multiple players. They had 3-point games. Gabe being one of them. Feeling good. Gabe was not on my mind. All right, usually Georgia's on old Ray Charles' mind for Mr. Phillip Lindsay. Gabe Landeskog was not on my mind in a bad way. I think that overall, I mean, this team is just humming, and Gabe has been doing well.
He has been, and that's what part of what made it strange this morning to hear that was Gabe just scored a goal and had 2 assists. He's coming off a 3-point night, so the timing is perplexing on that. But it's not just about one night. All right. Gabe Landeskog has 23 points in the last 29 games. The line that he's on, you just watched the game last night. I mean, it was dominant.
Gorgeous.
It really was. And it looked like varsity against JV. Now, did Gabe have a slow start to the season? He absolutely did. It would have been fair after 16 games to maybe blast Gabe in the way that Mike did. He only had 4 assists in the first 16 games, didn't score a goal. So, a slow start to the season? Very much so. But since then, he has 23 points in 29 games. A sample size of 29 games with 23 points, that is a 65-point pace over the last 29 games. And so, based on a sample size of 29 games and how he produced, like literally the night before saying this, I got to give pushback and say, dude, this guy has been playing at a very high level. And, if you wanted to bring up his finances, okay. But we have to also understand, and we do, that he signed that contract before ever getting hurt. That was signed years ago. And also, if you were going to call out someone for underachieving that makes over $7 million a year, you could have a Val Nichushkin conversation.
Let's start with Val then.
But I don't know. I just think Gabe has played really well. His line has been dominant, and it confuses me why Mike would go out of his way to blast the captain like that.
Yeah, so for me, too, it's like, Z, what do you want from Landy? Landy is doing a great job of starring in his role. His job is to be the captain of this team, the glue of this team. All right, get the dirty goals, be physical, body presence in the center of the between the pipes. Like, you're looking for a guy like that. I'm not looking for Landeskog to be Nathan McKinnon, Kale, or Marty Netches where they're scoring goals every single night. Like, what does he do, all right, that helps this team out? And he's doing it at a high level. He's doing his part. He's starring in his role, like I always say with the other football players. So for Mike to be able to say he's a disappointment, I mean, one, the season's not even over yet. You still got a lot of runway. You got the postseason, and he's doing his job.
It was just really harsh criticism. You know, a massive underachieving disappointment was the quote.
Damn.
And also we have to remember, you know, he missed a bunch of time, you know, with an injury. I didn't like that he was going to play in the Olympics, given how much time he had missed for the team that is paying him over $7 million a year. So, again, it's not that he is above criticism. He's not. He's not. He's a member of the team. But, I don't know, 23 points in the last 29 games, it's pretty good. You know, on pace, a 65-point pace over a 29-game sample size. For a guy, how many 70-point seasons would you think Gabe has had in his career? Based on these sort of expectations and reaction, he's had one. And over the last 29 games, he's been on a 65-point pace. So that was pretty critical. He kind of blasted him. It's like I said, it's gone like sort of baby viral here locally. And
bad timing by Mike.
It was bad timing. I agree. That was bad timing. Okay. Hey, by the way, keep your eye on Marty Netches as well. He had the empty netter last night, plus 2 assists. He's got 9 points in the first 4 games coming out of the Olympic break. He has been sizzling hot, and so fun to watch. Okay. Shifting gears here. NFL free agency is 6 days away, and dominoes are already falling before the Broncos make their first move. So yesterday, David Montgomery was traded out of Detroit to the Houston Texans. All right. The more I thought about it, and I said this yesterday, but it feels like the Broncos should have been involved with a deal like that, considering the compensation was a 4th, a 7th, and a guard that was basically a bust of a draft pick.
And Z, maybe they were. Maybe they asked around, and it was just too rich. They didn't want to give up their draft picks. You should know that. You're on board with the Denver Broncos keeping their draft picks, and maybe they're looking at somebody else that's going to be available free agency where it's like, hey, we don't have to give up a draft pick and then have to pay David Montgomery, because that's exactly what he's going to want done. He's going to want a new contract once he gets to this team, because he's going to say, how much do you really love me? I'm not going to just play for 1 year, use me up, and I'm gone. Like, no, you're going to have to give me another year or two so that I feel the stability here, so that I feel the love. So if you're going to do that, you might as well go to the free agency market where you can pay for a guy. I can't believe we say it like that, but pay for a guy and then keep your draft picks and then maybe add another running back along the way in the draft. So I like David Montgomery. I think he's a tough running back. I think that he would pair well with R.J. Harvey. But was I willing to give up the 2 draft picks in a player because that's exactly what happened? No, I think that we can get some really, really good free agent running backs, actually better than David Montgomery, if we really want to here soon.
Well, we'll find out that in 6 days. Mike Kliss said the Broncos were not in on Montgomery.
I didn't hear anything about that. From what I understand, they're looking at the market as far as a running back goes. But even with Dobbins and Harvey, I think they're looking at the market for another running back. But I didn't hear anything about Montgomery. There's a little wear on the tire there. He's had some injuries. So I'd be surprised if they were deep into discussions there.
If they weren't in on it, that's fine, as long as there is a corresponding move here in 6 days. In 6 days, when we're on the air, it'll be Monday at 2:00. We should be passing along news of the Denver Broncos signing a free agent running back. The floor needs to be risen in that room. The floor does,
no doubt.
And even if you went in the draft, which I'm totally open to them doing as well, there's still mysteries. And so I'm hoping that one of the likes of Travis Etienne, Tyler Algier, Rico Dowdle, really one of those 3.
Not Kenneth Walker?
Okay, Kenneth Walker, excuse me.
Yep. We know that the Seahawks are not going to tender him.
Yes, tag him. And so we found that out earlier today. So it is my hope that one of those 4 free agent running backs is announced to the Denver Broncos by someone like Ian Rappaport, who, by the way, said this about the running back market out at the Combine.
Almost never, it feels like, do we have this many good, productive, young running backs who are set to make some money. And the Javonte Williams deal really set it up to where it feels like $8 million plus is probably the market here. For instance, if David Montgomery gets a new deal, I would imagine he kind of comes in around there. You have teams like Denver Broncos, Seattle if they lose Ken Walker, perhaps the Kansas City Chiefs, perhaps the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have several teams that need a running back and want to go into the draft saying, we don't have a gaping hole. These guys are going to get paid in a way that we haven't seen in some time. And at the least, Mike, we're going to rebuild the running back market probably where it should be.
All right, so interesting final thought there. I want to get your thoughts on that in a second. But if you think Ian Rappaport just accidentally threw the Broncos' name in there when it came to free agent running backs, you're nuts. I am going to be supremely disappointed if in 6 days from now, right around this time, after 5 o'clock, if you're listening live and not after the fact on the Drive podcast, if we hear crickets, man, I'm going to be pretty discouraged.
Supremely disappointed. You know what, Z? I'm going to have to agree with you on that. All right, for way too long, 3 years now, the Denver Broncos have been waiting for a running back to emerge. All right, it was Javonte Williams, and that never went. Then you had R.J. Harvey, and you pick him up in the second round. Well, we know he's a great role player, and there's room for R.J. Harvey. But overall, you need a bell cow back. We thought J.K. Dobbins was going to be the man to get to 1,000 yards this year, and he would have if he would have been able to stay healthy, something that he has not been able to do in his career yet in the NFL. So, yes, it's time for the Denver Broncos to get in that pocketbook, dig deep into it, write a check to someone like Kenneth Walker III, or if you want to go with Travis Etienne, that's my guy right now. Go ahead and do that because those are running backs that are still young, that still have some left in the tank that can still be explosive, and they pair well with R.J. Harvey. If you want to go the Rico Dowdle route as well, that's another guy that pairs well with R.J. Harvey, has had 1,000-yard years, both one with the Dallas Cowboys and then this year with the Carolina Panthers. He would be a great addition, but the Denver Broncos, that is the missing piece. We know we need a tight end. We need help at that position again, but Evan Ingram, he's still there. But as a running back, the only guy on the roster that's going to play meaningful minutes is R.J. Harvey. So pair him with a vet that's ready to go, hot, baked, ready to go, so that we can get this going. And if we can get a running back to go for 1,000 yards this year, Zeke, because it's a Tuesday, it's Hot Take Tuesday for me. If you can get a running back to go for 1,000 yards, they will, the Denver Broncos that is, will be in a Super Bowl because that means there's more balance, a yin and the yang, right? There's balance there, not just the Bo Nix show, not just the identity being the Bo Nix show. So if we can do that, we have a great chance to get to a Super Bowl.
Well, you mentioned Dobbins a minute ago. This is what Kliss said about Broncos bringing him back.
I know they do want to bring Dobbins back. Probably, I'm guessing on a 1-year deal, 1 year and 4, something like that is, you weigh the injury he's had versus the production when he's healthy. 1 and 4, 1 and 5, something like that would make sense.
1 year, $4 million.
What you think? You like it? You okay with it?
I do. I mean, it's not a lot of money. I'm sure it wouldn't all be guaranteed. Maybe 3 of it guaranteed or what have you. Mm-hmm. A little raise in that regard from a year ago. Yeah, you want to know? I am open to it. Like, now there has to be another move along with it, whether it's a separate free agent or a top 3 round Broncos draft pick at the same position. But I'm open to it.
See, I'm open to it if it's going to be another free agent. If it's going to be another guy in the draft, another young player, you don't know what that's going to look like.
Right.
At least with one of these running backs like Rico Dowdle, we keep bringing him up because he's a running back that's on the market. Like, you know what he can do in this league. You know what he can do with the carries. But if you go into the draft and you pick like you did for R.J. Harvey, you don't know what you're going to get out of that running back in year 1. And this year coming up is the year where you try to get to a Super Bowl, right? We're talking about Super Bowl or bust. I like J.K. Dobbins, but he may not stay healthy. So go out there and get another vet to pair with J.K. and R.J. The thing about that is how does that look in the running back room? Do they mesh well together, or is there going to be a distraction? Because J.K. wants the carries.
Well, hold on a second. This is where I get lost. Like, so you're talking about like personalities?
Yes, personality, like meshing well together, like playing well together. There was times where J.K. Dobbins was not happy with R.J. Harvey entering the game, and you saw it with his body language or him trying to wave off R.J. to stay his ass on the sideline so he can get a touchdown. What does that look like if J.K.'s sitting there as like, look, we want you to be the third-string running back to keep you healthy and keep you fresh. I don't think he's going for that.
Phil, he's not going for it. Dobbins is a professional football player.
Yes.
If he's a part of the Denver Broncos, he's going to do what they ask him to do. He's not the captain of the team, and even if he was, all these running backs want all the carries, right? That's why Montgomery wants out of Detroit. And I guess they did him that favor, but I don't think you can, when building a football team, take too much into consideration of someone's personality. And if you have to, it's not the right fit. And I think Dobbins, this is Tetris. You get in where you fit in. You have never stayed healthy for a season. If they bring you back, I mean, you're playing by their rules. This isn't the Dobbins show.
We had this conversation a month ago. That is the case if nobody else wants J.K. Dobbins. My guessing is somebody else will pay J.K. Dobbins that same amount of money that Mike Kliss just got done talking about. 1 year, $4 million. He could go somewhere else. He can go to the Kansas City Chiefs. That'd be a great fit. He could go to the Chargers and help out. That would be a good fit. So, he can go back to the Chargers because he was there.
Yeah.
So, it's not like it's the Denver Broncos or you're just sitting there hoping somebody picks you up. I don't think that's the case with J.K. So, you're going to still have to play nice with a veteran that was a top 5 running back before he got hurt.
Right. But that's the story of his career. He's top 5 in yards per carry since entering the league. He just doesn't carry it enough because he always gets hurt.
I agree.
I will say this. I know he's not begging for a job, but in general, the phrase beggars can't be choosers exists for, I think, landscapes like this. And if he can go out and someone's going to name him the full-time starter for $6 million in a way that the Denver Broncos won't, okay, go. But and then you have to respond accordingly, in free agency and plan accordingly.
You play with that, though. You play with your food, you end up getting in trouble. Mama tells you, look, stop playing with your food or you don't get dessert. You get to a point where you think that teams or a player or a running back really wants to come here, and they don't, and you have other people bidding, and maybe I just came to Kansas City because they're looking for a running back too.
Sure.
Kansas City says, hey, look, Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker, you would be a great fit, but also we'll give you a little bit more money. You look up, and all of a sudden the running backs that you wanted are out the door, and now you have no choice but to give J.K. Dobbins more money. So you have to be careful with that. And know, is J.K. actually in your plan, or is it hey, let's get a true one in the building and then work on J.K.? It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
When do you think J.K. Dobbins will sign with an NFL team?
I think if he wants to be here in Denver, he'll have to wait a little bit because the Denver Broncos are going to go for someone like Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne. They're going to try to pay the big money. If he wants to play and he doesn't want to be with the Denver Broncos, I don't think he's going to have to wait that long. We talk about Javonte Williams. He didn't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to have to. So for J.K., because he's probably not going to sign for a bunch of money, he's not going to have to wait that long.
I would predict that J.K. Dobbins is not signing with a team until May, June again. It'll be May, June. And I may be dead wrong about that. But
you're going to be dead wrong.
Well, possibly, but I've told you this before.
Yeah.
Last year, the year prior to getting to Denver, he ran for more yards and played in more games.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not think the market for him after getting hurt again and playing less games, running for less yards, is going to be hotter than it was when he was picked up in June. Maybe I'll be dead wrong about it.
But
Just
you
takes one.
also have to understand that he was held hostage by the Chargers at the beginning of free agency. He couldn't go into the free agency like everybody else. The Chargers held his rights for the first wave or even two for the free agents and then let him go. That was on the Chargers to do, and they were doing a business decision, right? A business move. That's not the case this year. He's a free agent. So if he wants to sign somewhere, Z, my man can.
All right, we'll see how it all shakes out. I do think there's a place for him back here in Denver. I really do. But it's got to come. It can't be in a vacuum. There has to be a corresponding move. And Sean Payton said when he first got here, Bill Parcells told me about running backs, stack them. So I want to see that philosophy executed in a more meaningful way, in a more intentional way here this offseason. This is 3 straight years of talking about this.
Hey, this is the Davis Webb show now.
Do you think, hey, serious question. Do you think Davis Webb has a voice in any way, shape, or form on what the Broncos do in free agency or the NFL draft?
No, I think that I think this is on Sean and George. That is it. This is Sean and George's babies. All right, Sean's probably looking at the free agency because he does well with that. George is looking at the draft. They're not looking for Davis Webb, who's this going to be his first time walking into the building and say, hey, this is who I want. Yeah, right. You better step back, buddy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's the George and Sean Payton.
All right. There's more decisions that need to be made here, all right, as free agency is just 6 days away. There was a thought that Evan Ingram could be on his way out after just 1 year. Here's Mike Kliss on that topic.
I do. Unless they sign a Dallas Goedert or something in free agency, he's got $5 million guaranteed on something like $11.5 million. And I think with Davis Webb calling the plays, I think there's some people in the building that still believe in Evan Ingram and like his skill set and think they can get more out of him this year. Ingram, I do think they want to run it back with Adam Troutman.
It will be pretty glaring. You're shaking your head a little bit. Why?
Man, Adam Troutman, man, he finds a home with Sean no matter what. And you know what, Z? Good for him. And he's a stable tight end that's going to be a guy you can count on in the blocking game. And he can catch if you ask him to. So I guess to me, it's like if you want to bring Adam Troutman back, go ahead. But if he's going to get in the way of Evan Ingram yet again in the young tight end that they may draft, why are you doing that to yourself? I know that you want insurance, a guy that has been there, that's been a part of this offense, but is he a part of Davis Webb's plan, a part of Davis Webb's offense? I don't think that's the case because Adam Troutman, he's a blocking tight end and not a receiving tight end. So that's why I shake my head. But, hey, what do I know? This is Sean's show. We're living in it, right? Yeah, we're watching. We're sitting there. It's his world. We're living it.
Yeah, and Troutman has been by Sean's side every year that he's been here in Denver. So – all right, we'll see how, and I'll say this too. It will be, it'll be interesting and glaring if a Davis Webb-led offense is getting the ball to Evan Ingram, 65 times for 700 yards, after going for 50 catches for 461 yards. That would be a good problem, right? A good topic of conversation that obviously Sean, for whatever reason. And it wasn't just Sean, it was Ingram and his drops and Bo, and sometimes those two just not on the same page. But it'll be pretty interesting, and we're all rooting for it to happen if they move forward with Ingram, that he pops in a way that he just didn't. It just never materialized.
Two guys Davis Webb has to unlock.
Yep.
Marvin Mims
and
Evan Ingram.
Yep.
If he can do that on top of getting everybody else involved, watch out. There's a potent offense out there that's ready to explode.
Jeremy Fowler out at the NFL Combine said that Ben Powers, starting left guard, could be on the move in a trade. Mike Kliss says he could actually be a cap cut. Listen to this.
Ben Powers in the 4th year of his contract, non-guaranteed for about $12 million. I don't think Powers is going anywhere. They might want to adjust the contract somehow. Some of that would have to do with whether they think Palczewski's ready to be a starter. But my feeling is he'll probably be back. But those are the two guys you're kind of watching just because their contract.
This is one where the more we talk about it,
what do you got to say?
I think there's a 51% chance, so more likely than not, that Ben Powers is gone.
Woo! Why do you feel that way? I mean, Ben Powers, he's been a stable offensive line that's been building chemistry with his other offensive linemen, and they look really good when he's healthy. So why are we going to get rid of him? Keep a strength of strength, right?
Yeah, I just think this has much to do with Paucho than it does with Powers. It's really not about Powers specifically. Powers has played well enough to actually have this conversation. Because if you can't play or you were a massive disappointment, you're not in a trade conversation. In a bizarre roundabout way, even though that the athlete can get offended, trade conversations are a testament that you can get something in return for you. So if you could get a 4th-round pick for Ben Powers and Paucho's ready to play in a way that he looked like it when filling in for Powers, in a way he looked like it when filling in for Michael McGlinchey, I think you consider it. I really do. You have developed this guy for a moment like this. And I don't know, if you could get a draft asset, a 3rd, 4th-round pick for Powers, I think you have to really take a look at it.
The Denver Broncos have done a phenomenal job of developing Paucho. But they're developing him to be a versatile do-it-all type of offensive line. He could play the tackle position. He could play the guard position. Hell, he probably could play center if you ask him to. Don't you want to keep him there because it's a long season? I think that they're going to restructure Ben Powers' deal, which they should try to do to take less money off of the cap if they want, so they have more money to spend, give him some upfront, keep him here for one more year to be with the same unit for a fourth straight year. All right, see what that looks like if they're all healthy, when they're all healthy, and they can stay healthy. And then you go from there. This is a Super Bowl window. Do you really want to go with Paucho saying, like, I truly believe that he's the plan? Like, he's a versatile guy that you want to keep around, but I don't believe he's a starting caliber guard that you just plug in and it's like, oh, nothing to see here. He's going to still dominate.
So you don't think he's a starting caliber guard?
I know. I don't think he is. I think that
Really?
he's a guy that you place in there. He's a holder, placeholder, a guy he's in there long enough, but he's not in there long enough to mess up. Once he starts messing up, what does that look like? And for the offensive line position, that's a hard position to execute. That's a hard position to get right. And right now, the Denver Broncos are right at that position. Keep a strength to strength, buddy.
Well, if they plan on bringing Powers back and restructuring his contract, or even maybe like giving him an extension, like, okay. But if he's going into the final year of his contract and Paucho's ready to go, I'd say get a draft asset and move on. We'll see how that all ages. Yeah. And then another guy that got brought up by Mike Kliss is Dre Greenlaw.
One is Dre Greenlaw. He's $9 million this year, and he's coming off a lot of injuries. And, you know, he had the impact on the 2 goal line stands in Houston, but I don't think Bronco fans saw the real Dre Greenlaw this year. There wasn't that menacing, big physicality play, the big hits for the most part this past season.
Is Dre Greenlaw on the football team week 1?
I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with no. I think for Dre Greenlaw, it was a one and done. It was an experiment that failed, and it's injuries. It's injuries, and they can't have another situation where Dre Greenlaw goes out and they have to replace him with somebody that's not good enough to fill that position. I believe that they're going to try to bring back Alex Singleton. They may even bring back Justin Sternad, go into the draft because it's a rich inside linebacker class this year, right? That's what we're hearing. You go draft somebody like that, or even go to the free agent market, get someone like Devin Lloyd, who's going to want a pretty penny. But I think for Dre Greenlaw, I think it's done, and I think he's going to move on. Even with his words, Dre Greenlaw, that is, it seemed like he wasn't feeling what Sean Payton was doing in the building when it came to practices.
But I will say this. Sean Payton said in the postseason press conference about giving him Wednesdays off. So maybe he heard that. Maybe they had a conversation, because he was pretty vocal about it in that end-of-the-year locker clean-out day of like, man, he is, you know, I played for Kyle Shanahan. This is not what this is here. And so, I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say he is back, and Sean sort of massages the situation and meets him in the middle. He's going to get vet days, all that, but it certainly would not be stunning at all if they decided to move on. And they would be, it would be understandable if they did want to move on from Greenlaw. I just think he's coming back. We'll see. We are less than 1 month from the start of the Major League Baseball season. What would define success for the Rockies after the worst season in the history of the team? And what was the first order of business for the new boss? That's all next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Jacob's Law and 303 Law 4040. I want to tell you about one of the cases I'm most proud of. And it's not because the number is eye-popping, although it is. It's because the clients trusted us to get them justice, and we delivered for them. Our clients were a wonderful couple, weren't looking to get rich. In fact, they kept saying, Dan, we're not looking to set any records here. But they were seriously injured, and despite promising to take care of them, when it came time to do the right thing, the insurance companies played hardball. We set it for trial and wound up getting $8.5 million. Plus, my lovely wife, Kimberly, was able to get all of their medical bills wiped out, putting hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in the clients' pockets. We were proud to help because our clients were good-hearted people who deserved justice. We hope you never need us, but if you do, we are here to help at 303-LAW-4040, where you always get to meet directly with me and my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... Let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
SodaWeightLoss.com is state-of-the-art, and SodaWeightLoss.com helped me lose 60 pounds a few years ago, and I've never gained the weight back. Why? I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. I had a real nutritionist there to help me along the way through my journey. I joined Soda for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. Call them up, 1-866-800-SODA. You want to lose that weight? 1-866-800-SODA. Online at SodaWeightLoss.com. They are there for you like they were there for me. It's SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is state-of-the-art.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Score big, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
You're listening to Sports Talk Radio at work. So is your competition. So are your customers. Denver sports fans don't half listen. They argue. They text in. They remember stats from 1998. They remember who sponsors their obsession. Audio, video, or online. We've got every angle covered. DenverSports.com. Make your move.
You've been sharing your wish for happiness. You've learned that life offers different pathways. But what if your pathway is filled with fire? This is Glenn Jameron, chairman of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. Let's be frank. Life isn't always happy. You can feel real pain, real fire, like the loss of a loved one. But know this, fire can change you for the better. Just like iron must go through fire to become steel, so it is with each of us. Look back over your life. You may discover that the most painful things giving you empathy, new perspective, and a new realization of how precious life is. You have countless pathways ahead. Some bring pain, others happiness. It's what you do afterwards that counts. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado, and you.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at spineone.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on ESPN Denver 1600, CSU basketball faces New Mexico with pregame starting at 7:30.
Presented by Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealer since 1975.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, bottom half of hour number 4. Appreciate you guys being here with us on a Tuesday. And we covered a lot of ground here today. Let's finish this thing off strong, Mr. Phillip Lindsay. Good to have you back.
And it was great to be back. Great to be back in the what do you say? In the saddle?
Back in the saddle.
In the saddle, baby. Yeah!
Yeah. So we are less than 1 month away from the start of the Major League Baseball season. What would define success for the Rockies after the worst season in the history of the team by a country mile? Like, let's acknowledge just how deep the Rockies sunk a year ago. They lost 16 more games than the previous worst season in the history of the team.
Oh, it's rock bottom. They hit rock bottom. The Rocks did last year, man.
Man, I hope it's rock bottom. I hope. And I think you're right. So we'll get to that here in just a second in terms of what would define success. But Paul DePodesta, the new president of baseball, one of the first things that he had to do was figure out who was going to manage the team. They went with Warren Schaefer, okay? And this is what DePodesta said. Where is it? Okay. Yes, here it is. Sorry about that. Here was why Warren Schaefer was the right guy.
You know, one of the first orders of business when I came on was to hire a manager, but we had an interim one in place, you know, in Warren. And I dug as much as I could around the organization, people who were still with the organization, also people who had been there previously, and everyone raved about him. So I thought, okay, this is a real candidate. And then as I got to spend more and more hours with him in the first couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks on the job, it just became obvious. He literally checked every box we were looking for. I mean, great passion, great relationships with the players, terrific work ethic, wanted to be a great partner, with us. So, for all those reasons, I just thought he was the obvious pick.
And I'll say this too. I think that it is the right pick. And the reason why is, one, we know the Rockies are not going to be competitive anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay? So you need to navigate your way through this next period of time. Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 4 years? Someone's going to have to manage the team. This is not a desirable job at all right? And the Rockies are going to go through some really hard stuff. And according to the team and what you just heard there, like, he is a player's coach.
Yep.
Like, these guys are a huge fan of his. And he is young. He's 41 years old. He's got incredible energy and passion and fire. And you contrast that with someone like Bud Black, who I personally was a fan of. But this next era of Rockies baseball, it needs someone, I think, that has some fire in their belly. And Warren Schaefer is that. And then if you get to a point where you are getting competitive 3 years from now, 4 years from now, I don't know, you could always figure out a manager change if you need to. But for this point in time, I go with the guy that's already here and everyone likes.
Young team with a young manager that wants to prove that he belongs here. That wants to prove that he can do this job. That's what you're looking for, to build that foundation. The Nuggets had to build a foundation before they were a great team. The Denver Broncos had to build their foundation before they became a team that could possibly go to a Super Bowl. And so for the Rockies, it's about building from the ground up, having that manager that you can count on, that knows the players, that can relate to the players, that also can get after them when they're not doing their thing, right? Because you have a bunch of young players that are developing that don't know how to be a pro's pro yet. So I like the move too, and I can't wait to see what it looks like this year. Now, are the Rockies going to win a bunch of games? No, I'm not looking at it with the wins and losses. I'm looking at it as, okay, what does this team look like down the stretch? These young players, are they getting better? Is there moments where you see like the excitement of the Rockies winning a game because of them? Is there moments where they shine? And then, of course, there's some growing pains. But Schaefer is the man for this job as of right now, and let's roll.
Here was a little bit more from Paul DePodesta speaking from spring training with MLB Network, talking about the first order of business when he got the gig.
I mean, one of the things we felt like we needed to do was just sort of raise the floor, and bring in some more veteran players that could help sort of establish that foundation to give our young players a sort of a better chance to succeed. This game's hard at this level, and to ask a bunch of young players to come in and play sort of meaningful roles like top of the rotation, middle of the order, I think it's awfully hard to do. So one of the biggest things we did was sign the three veteran starting pitchers in the offseason. That should help just sort of settle everything down a little bit. And we wanted to create a situation where our young players had to earn their spot on the team, where they didn't get their at-bats or get their innings just because we didn't have anyone else, that they actually had to earn it, they had to show they were ready, and they had a foundation to succeed, at this level. So by bringing in some of those veterans, then even some of the trades and free agent signings we made on the position player side, Jake McCarthy, Willie Castro, same idea was, let's get some more veteran presence in here, sort of steady the ship, and then let these young players, earn their spots.
We're still learning on who Paul DePodesta is. And this thing may blow up in the Rockies' face, okay? We may look back in 10 years like laughing. Like, do you remember the time they hired the Cleveland Browns general manager to run the baseball team? That could be the case. But for now, I'm going into this puppy with an open mind, receptive to who he is, receptive to his ideas. Yep. And I like what he said there. Like, our young guys are not going to play simply for the sake of playing young guys. Create a competitive environment, bring in some veteran players, raise the floor, and if they're good enough to play, they'll play. And if not, they won't. I like building that sort of culture.
You build the culture that way with vets. You have to have vets that are good for the locker room, that can bring these young guys along, teach them. So these young guys, what I like to say, brew under them. And then when they're ready to go, you can let those vets go and say, okay, thank you for what you have done for these young guys. So I love the approach. It's the only way to go if you want to have success later on down the line. Like I said, it's not about this year and winning 90 games, 80 games. It's about developing these young players and being competitive.
All right, we look back at the day. What did we learn today in Denver sports? We'll check the rearview mirror next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
When our grandfather started Williams Jewelers in 1947 as a humble little neighborhood jewelry shop, he could not have imagined how big his dreams would grow. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Shayna Williams. Today, thanks to you, Williams Jewelers is not only one of America's largest fine jewelers,
we're Colorado's premier jeweler, with more of the world's top designers than any other store, including Roberto Coin, Marco Biccigo, Kwiat, Hearts on Fire, Mikimoto, and dozens more.
An entire diamond and bridal department with the latest engagement ring styles and wedding bands from Tacori, A. Jaffe, and Gabriel & Company.
Add to that our legendary Swiss watch collections and service center, and you have the only jeweler you'll ever need.
With over 30 jewelry professionals, master goldsmiths, and watchmakers to serve you at Williams Jewelers, you'll still always be treated just like our grandfather would.
Like family.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
You live in Colorado, you love those mountain views. Well, you want to maximize your window space, your glass space, and you could do that with custom windows. WindowNation.com. WindowNation.com, they're there for you with over 1,500 styles and colors to choose from. And in March, the more you buy, the more you could save. Up to 50% off all window styles right now at WindowNation.com. You can go out there, get your windows done, and enjoy that beautiful Colorado scenery. It's WindowNation.com. Visit WindowNation.com for your free consultation today.
Tune in Tuesday afternoons for Injury Insights with Zach Bai and Dr. Joseph Ramos to hear the latest injury news on your local teams and around the world of sports. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR. AdvancedHair.com.
Colorado, this is it. 2026 RV product rollouts are live at the Great American RV Show. Airstream Stetson 4.6s, New Trade Wind, Unmapped, Bliss Mobile, Chinook, Storyteller GXV. March 12th through the 14th, Colorado Convention Center. $12 online. See it first.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach Bai and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, final segment here on a Tuesday. First things first, Sam Barday. You could be heading to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world thanks to 303-LAW-4040. Call us back within the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043 to be entered into our drawing for the Superfan Send-Off Grand Prize, a pair of 2-night tickets to the event, round-trip airfare for two from Denver to Las Vegas, 2 nights hotel stay, and a $500 Visa gift card. Sam Barday. Call us now at 303-713-1043. If you haven't already signed up, there's still time. Head to DenverSports.com/superfan and make sure to listen weekdays every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to hear if your name is called. Dropping by the show is a friend of the show, the scrappy one, the Scrapster, Scrap Peterson. What up, Will?
What up, boys?
How we doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Fun show today. Final segment. Do you want to have a jumping off point? Is something on your mind that?
I think it's the Av stuff that our morning show said, or maybe didn't say in some cases, and the pushback that you guys have given them. And I appreciate you speaking up on this one because I do think Mike Evans knows hockey. I'm not going to bag on Mike's hockey IQ, but he just had a bad take. You do 20 hours a week, you're probably going to have a bad take here and there. Saying that Gabriel Landeskog has been underwhelming or a disappointment or whatever words he used exactly.
I'll play it for clarity.
Okay.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. Okay,
Keep going. No.
Here's what I'm saying about Gabe. The reason why I say and I acknowledge Gabe's leadership is because if you didn't think about the impact he makes as a leader and you were just left with who he is right now as a hockey player, you would be forced to say Gabe Landeskog has been a massive underachieving disappointment this year. Here's a guy who's one of the top 5 highest paid guys on your team. He's making $7 million a year. I don't want to hear about the fact that he's been, all the time he's missed because Mark Schlereth, what do you always say about somebody who's out there playing?
If you're good enough to be on the ice, you're good enough to play at top level.
And produce.
Yeah.
And be expected to produce.
Yeah.
Okay, especially for what you're making. So for a guy who's making $7 million a year and has 8 goals and 19 assists this year for just 27 points, for what he's being paid, he has been an underachieving disappointment.
All right. Wow. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I think just the start, he says massive underachieving disappointment. Like, really? That's your take? You know, it's a massive underachieving disappointment is Cam Johnson with the Denver Nuggets. You want to say that about him? I'm all in on that take. But Landeskog,
that's a good. That's actually a good analogy. If you wanted to use those like spicy words, they would apply more to someone like Cam Johnson, not the captain of the best team in hockey.
Right. That's missed the last 3 years, and oh, by the way, the Avalanche have won 1 playoff series without him.
Yes.
Like there's clearly been this huge leadership void that the Avs have had. And when did they stink this year? The 1 month he couldn't play after he went to the goalpost in Florida. Best record in the NHL. Obviously, when the captain suits up, they're under 500, I believe, without him.
Yeah, and that's like, to me, speaks the loudest. They're the best team in hockey, and they're literally under 500 when he doesn't play. And then you start talking about 23 points in 29 games. 29 game sample. Did he start slow? Absolutely.
For sure.
So if Mike wanted to blast Landy after 16 games, it would have been more fair. 0 goals, just 4 assists after 16 games. But since then, 23 points in 29 games. I mean, that's a 65-point pace over a 29-game sample. For someone who, by the way, how many 70-point seasons do you think Landeskog has had in his career?
Man, off the top of my head, I'd say 3 or 4.
1.
Wow.
So in terms of like what the expectations were, right? And that was years and years ago. He's on a 65-point pace over a 29-game sample. The best team in hockey is under 500 without him. And the timing was just bizarre. It was almost as if Mike didn't watch the game the night before. And I know he wakes up early, so maybe that was the case. But saying that the morning after a 3-point night was a bit
crazy.
Perplexing for me.
Crazy. And you also said that, hey, look, Landy was given the contract before the injury. So when you coming off that injury, it's going to take some time. That was a gruesome injury that takes time to heal. This is this man's first time playing a full season. Knock on wood. Hopefully he can finish it off. But give it some time. Don't just go in there with this hot take. And it just didn't make sense. We talk about Shedeur Sanders' perfect timing. This was not perfect timing for what Mike did to old Landy, man.
Well, and the one last thing I'll add on this topic is 100 points in hockey is video game numbers. We're spoiled because Nathan McKinnon always does it. Cale Makar can do it. That's not the common theme around the league. That's the elite of the elite that get 100 points in a season. So you need guys like Gabe to finish with 50, 55, 60, 65 points. Yes. And that's still a great season for his role and his age and where he's at in his career at this point.
How's that top line for the Avs looking?
Great.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah, I thought Nathan McKinnon was absolutely flying last night.
He was. The whole line it looked like varsity against JV. They were so dominant when on the ice, and Gabe Landeskog's on that top line.
Yeah. And the game-winning goal, Nathan McKinnon set up Gabriel Landeskog. He came this close to winning it,
yep.
And then he hit Devontae's 15 seconds later when they were just absolutely flying around. I'm sure Devon Taves was happy to get the game winner last night, but he probably would have rather beaten Connor Hellebuck in the third period of the gold medal game.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a little kerfuffle with.
Well, and I thought Sean Payton, Russell Wilson would be the big news of the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got sidetracked here with this Avalanche hot take from Mike Evans.
What did you make of Russell Wilson's comments to Bussin' with the Boys? And if you haven't heard them, this was the topic of conversation.
Broncos, the situation, which I'm going to read the tweet because, buddy, I'll be honest with you, that's awesome.
What tweet?
Oh, yeah, I'll read the tweet. This is the tweet that you put out. Classless, ... but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Now, to put a tweet like that is like very humanizing. When I saw that tweet, I'm like, dude, this is badass.
In there, Russell Wilson bites back.
I don't say much. I never hardly ever say anything. I think there's a time and place. But sometimes you get fatigued of people talking about you. You just like you mentioned, we're all human. But it's one thing for people that maybe aren't in the field or aren't, people say bots or whatever, talking. Like I don't worry about that stuff. Like that never. But to me, when you've been in the ring or you've been on the same side of this and that, and I got the same amount of rings as you got, meaning Sean. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him as a play caller, this and that. But to take a shot, I don't like. I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm not even on your own team anymore. So for me, I've realized I've stayed quiet for so long. There's a time and place where I'm not. For me, I know who I am as a competitor, as a warrior, as a champion too. I've beaten Sean too. Like we've been on the same place and same thing. And so it's not a matter of disrespect. Just don't disrespect me.
Give me your summarized thoughts. Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny saying, well, I've got the same amount of rings as Sean, and Russell Wilson had one of the most infamous interceptions in NFL history.
I think the most infamous.
Probably to not have more rings than Sean Payton. And I think we all agree Sean Payton's been on the wrong side of some awful luck over his playoff tenure, specifically in New Orleans, not really in Denver, but he could have had 3 or 4 rings with the Saints.
Yeah. All right. Fun show. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. All right. For now, we step aside. Denver Sports Tonight is coming up next.
Calling all wrestling fans. Now's your chance to win your way into the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. First, head to DenverSports.com/Superfan to register. Then tune in every hour to see if your name is called. If you hear your name, you have 10 minutes to call us back and be entered into the grand prize drawing. It's the Superfan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out how much you can save. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Does the air in your home feel like the desert? You don't have to suffer any longer. Get a brand new humidifier for the lowest price of the season. Everyone should breathe easy and healthy in their home. What are you waiting for? Call Rocks Heating and Air for a free, no obligation estimate. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone.